Alright, we should be live. We've got 2 streams running today. We've got a vertical stream and a normal stream. So, I don't know how many people are going to be in the vertical stream. I don't know how YouTube Shorts feeds streams to people. But, let's see. If you guys are in the vertical stream, if you can say something in the chat and you can see and hear me fine and see the whole layout, let me know. That would be helpful. But what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It's been a week since the last stream. We got, first up today is Craig Lilly. What's up? We got Stang 2007, Daniel Marchesani. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Let's see, we've got Donut Farmer 0 as always. We got Firestorm in the vertical chat. So the way that YouTube vertical streams and the normal stream works is it's 2 separate streams. So I'm running 2 separate streams right now. That means the chats are unfortunately separate. But I'm still working through setting this up. So hopefully in future streams I can combine the chat, at least on my side, so that I can pull up comments from either chats. You guys, you're only going to be able to see the chat of whichever stream you're watching, the vertical or the horizontal. Hopefully YouTube, maybe one day they can make, because I heard in TikTok, if you switch the orientation of your phone, it can switch between the horizontal and the vertical format, and it's all one stream. But yeah, if you guys do want to check out the vertical stream, you can check it out down in the description. You can click on that and it should take you to the vertical. And same with the vertical stream. You can click on that and it can take you to the horizontal stream. So that's how you can get between the 2. That's just how it is right now. But yeah, let's see. Craig Lilly says, boy, Montech is really branching out. Just saw the Montech Hyperflow ARGB 360 AIO on Amazon for 95 bucks. I can pull that up actually. I have not seen that yet. Montech XR. Oh no, Hyperflow ARGB 360 AIO. Alright, so yeah, I'll pull that up and we take a look at it as well. Daniel says, Montech XR is really interesting to me just because the MSRP though. We got Kale 130 who was hopping between both of the streams. Vertical life, baby. Horizontal is full of nerds, says Jason Whitmer over in the vertical. I don't like vertical streams. I think the vertical streams, YouTube, as you guys may have noticed, now that, like, if you're just using YouTube on your phone, whether or not you want, YouTube just feeds you a bunch of vertical stuff in between normal, not normal, but traditional, landscape format. You get a bunch of YouTube shorts pushed in. So they're pushing really hard on this vertical format. And it's obviously to compete with TikTok, right? So I think for the normal viewers, like if you guys normally come to the stream every week, if you guys are, subscribers to my channel for my long form content, definitely you'll probably stick to watching the landscape traditional format. I want to try this vertical format because I've seen on other channels, most notably my friend Brett from UFD Tech, he does 2 streams, one traditional, one vertical at the same time, and he gets like literally like 10 times or more. Like his normal streams would get 7,000 views by the end of it. His vertical stream gets 100,000. It's crazy the difference. I don't know if I'm going to get those results, but I do want to try the vertical stream just because it'll help my channel reach a broader audience because YouTube in their algorithm is pushing vertical format so much. And hopefully those viewers become long-term viewers who would come to the normal, traditional horizontal stream. But yeah, for today's test, if you guys are normal viewers, feel free to check out the vertical stream. Let me know your input. I do see Shauner is one of the normal viewers, says YouTube is stinky, so they probably won't figure that stuff out. Vertical stream. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, YouTube is definitely behind compared to other streaming platforms in multiple ways. Like on Twitch, with like, I don't think YouTube has rating yet. But there's other things that Twitch has, such as integration where you could do like kind of like giveaway type stuff, as well as earning points for, you know, whatever uses. They have that all like integrated well over on Twitch. So YouTube is still missing a bunch of stuff, but I still like streaming over here just because it is my main platform of choice. If I go to Twitch, I'm gonna get like 0 viewers, and most people here already expressed that they want to watch me on here and not Twitch. So yeah. So now I need to watch both chat. So if I'm accidentally ignoring anyone from either chat, I apologize. Though I'm very curious what the YouTube live stream chat. Do you guys in the vertical, do you guys see the chat down there? Because I can't see it on my screen. I have to pop out a different window. Like in my preview window, I don't see the chat from the vertical at all. It's just a blank open space down here, but I think the YouTube UI overlays something there. Let's see. Dooley says, I kind of like Vert. I have not watched the vertical stream, so I can't comment myself, but I could see why, if you're already just on your phone, I can see why vertical might work out better, and if you don't want to like switch the orientation of your phone. Like you can just, whatever you're doom scrolling, right, you're going through shorts, and then if my channel pops up, then you can just see it like that. So, oh, you have to enable it, says Jason. Okay, so you have to enable vertical. Interesting. I don't even know if I have that enabled. Okay, let me get back through the rest of the small talk and stuff like that. And then we can get to talking about the Intel situation, which was, I mean, we've known about the Intel situation, but news broke on Tom's that the investigation for the potential class action lawsuit has started. But yeah, let's get through the small talk portion of the stream, let people use the restroom, get water, etc. Okay. Craig Lilly says, now why would I be watching on a cell phone? Actually, that's a good time to post a poll. Actually, I don't even know what the viewer spread is on both. Oh, we definitely have more viewers on the mainstream. But I'm gonna ask the poll. I'm gonna have to run 2 polls, jeez. Yeah, this makes it difficult. PC. I gotta copy and paste this. Alright, so the polls are running on both. Do you typically watch streams on PC or phone? Not what you're watching on right now, but actually what you prefer, which is what you would typically be doing. Let's see. I usually watch on my phone, says Shauner, but do you watch in vertical where there's like the description section and everything shown? Or do you switch it to full screen horizontal? Oh gosh, did I put PC or PC? Did I just fail this? The copy and paste. The copy and paste failed! That's my bad. Guys, did you guys know I am a complete noob at streaming? Despite having done this for how long now? Okay, there we go. Restarted the poll. Yeah, definitely live stream is doing better on the typical. So this is what I'm wondering. Like, I'll show you what I'm talking about. And now you guys can see on both of them. When I go to browser scene, now you guys will see this tiny browser. But let me go to YouTube real quick. And I'm going to have to zoom in on this because... I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if we go to Brett's channel, UFD Tech, Brett and team, sorry. They are a team, it's not just Brett doing everything. But I'm going to have to zoom in for the people on the vertical. And Jason is actually the one who pointed this out to me. But, okay, you guys should be able to see this even on vertical. So, if you look at their YouTube short, Brett when he did the YouTube short stream. It's the exact same stream, exactly how I'm doing, right? You got your normal stream, same thumbnails, basically the same title. His normal stream got 7.4k views. His vertical YouTube short stream got over 200,000 views. Over 210,000, which that is 30 times the views. 7,000 versus 210,000. That's a 30x. That is crazy. Now, what I don't know about this is the YouTube short stream, because, you know, long after the stream happens, these become VODs. So they become just like normal videos that you can watch after the fact. Now, I don't know if during Brett's stream he amassed that, the vertical stream, he amassed that 200,000 plus or whatever number, or if the majority of them came from people who were scrolling through, you know, YouTube Shorts content, and then eventually came across the VOD of the stream, because that also racks up view count. Yeah. I mean, it's not a YouTube short, but I guess you should call it vertical content, because even going through YouTube Shorts, I feel like I've run across vertical content that is longer than a minute. So it's not classified as a YouTube short, but it's classified as vertical. So yeah, it's just interesting to see that crazy of a number. So after this stream, next week we can revisit this and see how mine does. But right now, the horizontal stream is definitely winning. It has more viewers. We do seem to have less viewers than a typical week. Which might be due to people being split between the two. Actually, if you are new to the channel and found my stream via the vertical content, let me know in the vertical chat if you are one of those people. Because I'm looking at the chat right now, there's a lot of people who are just normal viewers and normal stream attenders in the vertical chat, just checking it out. So, yeah. He labeled it as a short. Oh, did he? I mean, he labeled it as a short. I don't know if having the title... Oops. If having the title of shorts, like... Okay. Brett, I'm copying your homework. Shorts stream. Because I called it a vertical stream. But Brett knows what he's doing. So, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to help, but... I don't see any way to label this... Oh, crap. I just changed the normal stream. See, you guys, I'm messing this up. I gotta go on the shorts. Primary backup streams correctly. I don't see any way to label this as a short. Robert Fixie says, plus, from I can tell, all the people that work at 7-Eleven are watching live streams on their phone. Ha. Yeah, but, I mean, there's what, Instagram Live is probably vertical as well as TikTok is. Hire... Wait, did Kyle start working at Katsu Burger? Hire Kyle to be your stream producer. He works for Katsu Burger. No, Craig Lilly, you are not on the short stream. You're on the normal stream. The Ravage Man, what is up? Ravage Man looks like a new name, but I don't know if you are a subscriber already or if you are new to the vertical stream. Let me go back to the other face cam. I think the face cam view is the best in terms of both vertical and landscape. I still need to figure out the browser scene just because it's difficult to read text on the vertical just because everything's so squished and tiny. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Flamepock? No, oh, he works for Katsu Burgers. So yeah, gotcha. He will, yeah, I can pay him in Katsu Burger. I do not make nearly enough money to hire on anybody for help, unfortunately. The life of a YouTuber who does not have ads ad spots and sponsorships on every single video is a pretty tough one. Hey, what up, Casey Walls? Round screens when? You mean like on like a round watch face except on a phone, like a disc? Or do you mean rounded? Because screens on phones have already become rounded. Like my phone, annoyingly, has a rounded off screen on the edge, which means that you can't put a typical tempered glass protector on it. You have to get a curved one and use UV curing to make it not have issues. So that's annoying. Hello from Slave Lake, Alberta. I watch your videos all the time. Says Loop Play Loop. Nice. And you're in the vertical stream. Okay. So yeah, so the whole chat thing, I need to figure out the integration. Just because these dual chat things, it's probably weird for you guys too. When I'm reading from a different chat and you're like, who the heck is he talking to? It will help when I have the thing where I'm able to like pull up the highlighted comment. So at least you guys can see it. But yeah. Any thoughts on IRL stream the LAN parties? The issue with streaming the LAN parties is that as much as the LAN party videos, you know, it's like 2 hours of content. It's not always the fact that we're, you know, doing something super interesting, super fun, or like yelling and having a like amazing time. Obviously the video is edited down as much as I can, and I keep all of those moments. But you gotta think over the course of 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a typical LAN party is gonna have a lot of, you know, people doing free play, people, sometimes people go home and do whatever, and then we don't reconvene until everyone gets back to like do group gameplay. There's like just cooking and stuff. I don't know, IRL real streaming, I don't get how people do that for like, you know, 10 hours straight. Because I feel like unless, I guess a lot of the streamers who do IRL real streams, they go out of their way to try to be entertaining. And that'll be hard to intentionally capture footage for, you know, the LAN party stories video, as well as try to like just be over the top, you know, doing whatever stuff to keep a long stream entertaining. So I just think live streaming it will be too difficult. But yeah, it's not off the table, but it's just, it intimidates me so much that I haven't even gotten close to trying to set it up. Put a cam on Nick all weekend. Yeah, Nick and Casey, the viewers love that. Soul Price says, can we talk about X99 Pro mobiles and Xeon CPUs? We actually talked about that last week, but we can look at them again this week. Yeah, we were looking at them last week. It was a, what, 2654? I forgot which Xeon V4 it was, the number exactly. But there are multiple of them, and it's like, what, $60 for RAM, motherboard, and CPU kit. I do want to do a video on those, but I have other stuff I need to get through since I have a backlog of stuff ever since the my foot incident. Oh no, you're fine, Soul. We do this stream every single Wednesday, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific. We just, you know, come out here, hang out, talk PC tech, deal hunt. If I have a project going on, like last time I unboxed stuff for the next PC build. And once I get the B-roll and the graphics card spray painted, I think I'm gonna build that one on stream. So yeah, if you are either PC enthusiast or into gaming PCs and stuff like that, then this is just where we hang out every single week and just talk. Foot photos, Danny. So, okay. For anyone who's not in the know, I have been dealing with an issue with my foot for the last 6 weeks now, actually. And I basically had really severe pain in it. Like, I had symptoms of gout, arthritis, stuff like that. My foot swelled up. I can't put weight on my foot still to this day. But since last stream, I gotten MRIs of my foot done. That was last Thursday. I saw, what is the foot doctor? There's too many of them. Foot doctor. There's two of them. there's podiatrist. Oh, okay, orthopedic doctor. So yeah, I just saw the orthopedic doctor today. Unfortunately, that was a wasted appointment because they were like, oh, we deal with like when your foot has fracture or sprain injury and stuff like that. Based on the MRIs, they think it's an infection of some kind, because they already thought my foot was infected, and they already gave me 2 different antibiotics that I took. That plus all the gout medicine, plus all the lupus medicine, plus all the arthritis type of pain relieving medicine, none of that worked. So after the CAT scans and MRIs, they're thinking it is some other form of infection that they don't know what kind it is yet. So now I'm being referred to a podiatrist. I think that's the correct name for it. And they are thinking we're going to have to cut open my foot. They're going to take a sample to find out what the actual infection is to give me the correct antibiotics. So that's my life right now. I just had an appointment, 2 appointments today, and then I got an appointment tomorrow because they urgently rushed it. Because my foot is being eaten away by an infection right now. I am losing cartilage and stuff like that. Stuff that is not going to grow back. Ortho equals joint doctor. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was confusing that. Ortho is bones and joints and stuff. Yeah. So now I'm going to a specifically like ankle and foot doctor, which kind of sucks. Extreme Zone just hopped on to say quick hi. I'm at a hockey game. Have a good night. Have a good night. Thanks for hopping in. Good luck figuring out. Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things that's like, at this age, I know like I'm like reaching middle age now, right? You know, mid-30s approaching, I'm not approaching 40 yet, but mid-30s. Assuming your life is 70 years, right at the halfway point. I know slowly it's gonna be like, oh, I woke up with an ache or pain and stuff like that. But this right here is not anywhere near normal, and not being able to walk, you know, on both of my legs for no apparent reason other than this random infection happening during the summertime has just been a complete mood killer. Like, just every aspect of my life, from waking up to taking a dump, even peeing, because I'm basically balancing on one leg for the most part, even though I have my crutch, putting clothes on, showering, leaving the house, getting into a car, every aspect of it is like way slower because I am on a crutch essentially. But yeah, that's enough of me complaining. Sorry about that. Do you think your foot issue has any connections to those weird looking mosquito bites that I had that last year? I don't think so. The mosquito bite thing was straight, it was just skin rash. It was not, there was no like pains or aches or anything, so yeah. Well, now I can play video games more. Yeah, I've been playing a decent amount of video games. I've been playing Fallout 76, for the most part. That's been my main game. But then I played got into more of Elden Ring, just because before I just benchmarked it, but now I'm actually like playing it more. And what else was I playing? Oh, I just fired up Guild Wars 2 for some reason, just because I wanted to check that out again, but yeah. Did they say you had nerve damage from the MRI? Sorry that happened to you, bro. No nerve damage so far, from what they can see. And I don't think I have nerve damage. I can still feel my foot. It's still mobile. It's just when I put weight on it now, it just hurts. But yeah. Okay, let's, dang, how did 24 minutes just pass? I am sorry for the people who don't care about my life and are just here for like the PC stuff, the deal hunting, the news topics and stuff. Did I miss the tech drama of the week from Rflet? Did he pop in at any time? Because if I did, Rflet, I am sorry. But anyways, we are going to get on to the main topic of the... and we're going to... Sorry! Horizontal people. Actually, what is the horizontal vertical spread right now? We've got about... Yeah, we've got more people on the horizontal. But I still got to cater to the people in the vertical. Just continue to let me know how the vertical stream is going, guys. And yeah, like let me know. You should be able to see this, the font and the writing, or not the writing, but the text, because I am zoomed in like crazy. But yeah, so this news was only just today, 51 minutes ago. Actually, I gotta refresh because I opened it. So 2 hours ago. Sorry, I opened this up early for us to take a look at today and talk about. So Intel, this is from Tom's Hardware. I will post this in both chats, and I will put it, yeah, so you guys can see if you want to follow along yourself. But this has been something that's been going for, I don't know, it's been like 3 weeks at this point. I forgot when the first, actually no, when Wendell and like Steve and them talked about it. I feel like it's been almost a month now, if not more. But Intel class action lawsuit investigation begins for the company's CPU crashing and instability issues. So if you guys are not aware, the 13th and 14th gen Intel chips, the high-end ones, from what I've seen, the high-end ones are facing stability issues. Now, in terms of it's causing them to essentially crash. From what I've seen, I've only seen like examples and people chiming in about a lot of what I've seen is 13900, 14900s. So like the i9s. In terms of actual 13700 and 14700Ks, and this article doesn't talk about it, and I couldn't really find concrete answers as to like what is the percent split of unstable CPUs, and how many of them are like just the really high end like i9s, and how many of them are like the i7s, and if any i5s are even affected at all, like the 13600K, 14600K. Like, have you guys seen any of that? Pretty much anything over 65 watts, but mostly the i9. Yeah, so mostly i9s is what I can see. Also, how many of y'all out there have 13th gen i7s and up? So that's 13th and 14th gen i7 and i9s. I myself, I'm personally on 12700K, so thankfully this will not affect me. But also, I don't know what the exact numbers is, right? Like, for something like this, like a class action lawsuit to begin, you don't have to have like a super high percentage. It's not like you have to have like 50% of the CPUs, having issues. It's much lower than that. So, I don't, like, obviously, they're still gathering data, and people, it's not like everyone's CPU is going to start, not failing, but having issues at the same time, right? They will get reports of it, and people will, file for warranties or RMAs or whatever over time. So I think the like solid numbers to put on this is pretty difficult at the moment, but they are beginning the investigation where they will likely be, trying to pull all the information. But Casey Wall says, "Oh crap, will people finally quit the AMD hate? Intel PC flips are always easier to sell than AMD." But isn't that, wait up. Did this not pop up for... This is not popping up for that scene? Sorry, vertical people. Yeah, the thing's not working. Why? Oh, it's because we're on the browser scene. We can see it here. Sorry, I have to switch to this scene. But yeah, whoops. I did not mean to click this one. But, let me see the chat. Joe Dog has a 12900K, so so they're all on the same socket, right? Like LGA 1700. We were only hearing reports of 13 and 1400, 13,000 and 14,000 rather. I haven't looked into it, but are there zero reports of high-end 12th gen chips crashing? Because you can use them for the same motherboards, they're the same socket. They're different generations, of course, but yeah, I'm fingers crossed, because again, I have an i7 12th gen myself. So Mastiff in chat has an i9 14900K. Already submitted my values to IGN. Okay. Soul Price says, "I'm glad I don't have one, but also sad because they don't have one." If your only PC right now was a 13th or 14th gen, like high-end chip, right? Is it, would it be is it worse to have one or to not have one at all? Basically not have a high-end computer at all. Tammy Panatti says, "Current stats according to Unreal Engine devs is..." Oh, I saw a LAN center. They submitted, or it was like a Reddit post, I think. Someone from a LAN center said we have Or maybe it was the Unreal Engine devs. No, it was a LAN Center. I saw a different post. Yeah, because they specifically said it was one. But they said they had like, out of 40 Intel chips, they said they had like 4 fail, if I remember correctly. This was a Reddit post. But yeah, Tammy's saying current stats are the Unreal Engine devs. 50% failure rate on Intel on their dev boxes. 50% failure rates. The thing is, if you do have a 13th or 14th gen chip, a lot of people don't like fully utilize their CPUs. You're not going to be running to like the max clocks, and you're not going to be applying all core loads, all core, all thread loads on it, just playing video games, which most, okay, I can't say most people, but I feel like a lot of people in our community and a lot of people on like PC Master Race and stuff like that. And there are just a lot of people who have way more money than they know what to deal with. So there are a lot of PC gamers out there that do buy i7s and i9s, even though they will literally never like fully utilize these CPUs, right? They just buy them because they have enough money, and even though you're reaching like diminishing return territories, once you get up to like the i9s, like you're paying way more for the amount of like FPS gains or like 1% lows, 0.1% lows that you gain. So there are a lot of people out there, and I have met some of these people. I don't know if do I know anybody that has like an i9 that isn't like a content creator on YouTube and stuff like that? I don't know if I could say I know anyone in real life, but I know plenty of like people I've seen on Reddit and stuff, gamers that just straight up buy like i9s and i7s, which if you're not, fully pushing the CPU, you might not run into the stability issues. So, but hearing that like Unreal Engine devs, where they are, putting higher workloads, 50%, that's crazy. That's a pretty high rate. I mean, I feel like an outlet like either like Gamers Nexus, Linus, or even something like Wendo, like that means just put like 4 CPUs on a bench, just runs like some 100% workload like benchmark, and see if you can get at least one of them to fail. J2 runs at 13900K. That's not surprising. It's actually more surprising to me that someone as large as his channel doesn't just run a 14900K. But then again, I'm running a 12700K and I'm a content creator, but I'm also cheap, so. Give me a second here. Sorry, because I gotta go between like 2 different windows and stuff like that. But man, to the people who are on the traditional stream landscape horizontal format, y'all are the real MVPs, because you are keeping the numbers strong. I wasn't sure what to expect between the vertical and the traditional, but the traditional is holding down the fort. Let me see. 50% is definitely not good for business. Yeah, it is definitely not. So let me get back to this article. Yeah, so it reads, Abington, Cole, and Ellery, a law firm specializing in class action lawsuits and intellectual property, have begun investigating the crashing and instability issues plaguing Intel's 13th and 14th generation Core Raptor Lake processors with a potential filing. So the class action lawsuit thing is just in there. It's mostly for like almost like title clickbait, but it is for the potential filings of a class action lawsuit on behalf of Intel customers. Intel announced about a week ago that some, they didn't give any percentage, they didn't say majority, but they said some 13th and 14th gen core processor become unstable due to elevated voltages, which a patch due in mid-August. So today's last day of July. Maybe a couple weeks from now, there should be a patch mid-fix. I think it's going to be a BIOS. I would assume it's a BIOS level patch. And then whatever motherboard you have, you would just have to update the BIOS. I don't think it would be like the chipset one that's in the OS itself, but I could be wrong. The company promised to respect all RMAs. So all damaged CPUs should be replaced. The issue doesn't just impact higher end models. Intel says the instability bug also impacts mainstream 65-watt CPUs. Okay, so from last week's findings, wait, where is it where they would talk about it? Oh, here it is. Let me pull this up and zoom this in so for the vertical people. So this is like from the official Intel website themselves, right? So July 2024 update. This was posted 7/22, so about a week and a half ago. And then they give an update on 7/29. But this is just to talk about the customer support process. So if you guys do have an issue and you have one of these chips, I can link this for you guys. So do that to fix your problem. But based on extensive analysis of of Intel Core 13th and 14th Gen desktop processors returned to us due to instability issues. So these are the ones that were already filed for like RMA and warranty. Our analysis of return processors confirmed that the elevated operating voltage is stemming from a microcode algorithm resulting in incorrect voltage requests to the processor. So I wonder, like, how much incorrect voltage, like, how much over what, let's just say, someone who would overclock would apply, right? Intel is delivering a microcode patch which addresses the root root cause of exposure to elevated voltages. We are continuing validation, okay, to ensure that scenarios of instability reported to them are addressed. So, let's see. They're targeting mid-August. They're committed to making sure all customers who have or are currently experiencing instability symptoms on their 13th or 14th gen desktop processors are supported. Okay, so that's the issue right now. In terms of the class action lawsuit, when was the last class action lawsuit you guys remembered from, like, related to PC hardware? Was the GTX 970 3.5 gigabytes of VRAM versus the advertised 4 gigabytes? Was that a class action lawsuit that paid out? I don't remember, like, specifically. Hey, what's up, Mike Lebote? Hi, y'all. I've been AMD so long, this will never be an issue for me, thankfully. I feel for you folks who are dealing with this, though. Hard to believe Intel did this, ouch. What was the last AMD CPU / motherboard controversy? It's just like, I don't think just because you're AMD, you are protected, CPU-wise, right? You're necessarily, you know, safe from here to the end of time. Every company, like, NVIDIA had their whole, connectors melting debacle. I'm trying to think, like, every company, every few years is going to come into some issues like this. So I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm safe because I'm this brand, right? You're safe for the time being, but you're eventually going to change components, or you might even switch brands, and eventually you could potentially run into one of these issues. I'm trying to think if I've ever run into issues with like a larger scale, you know, recall type situation. AMD and their whole, but how many years ago was that? Now, how old is the 8350? Actually, 8120, right? 8120 AMD release. How old was the FX? Yeah, 8120 was October 2011. The Zambezi architecture, AM3 Plus. That was October 2011. That was 13 years ago. But yeah, I would say that's the one that I remember people making a big deal about, because it wasn't like they advertised as 8-core, 8 threads, but it was really performance-wise and behavior-wise closer to 4-core, 8 threads. It just had to deal with how like the scheduling of the architecture was set up. It's not like the modern day Ryzen chips where it is a true, you know, X-core, X threads advertised. But yeah. AMD didn't reach class action lawsuit level recently, at least, yeah. Let's see. Supreme Aviation says, I have a quadruple 4090 PC with a i9 12th gen. I'm calling cap on that. Unless you post a picture of this PC in the Discord. Which, by the way, Discord is in the description below during the streams. Sometimes. Actually, we gotta do that today. So you can see the Discord server. We have a stream submissions channel, so that whatever we're talking about on stream, you can post a link there. Just because you can't post links in YouTube. They do not let viewers post links because you could potentially put some malicious link, I guess, and I could actually click it, or some porn or something, and then, you know, we all get in trouble. But if you post it into Discord, it'll show at least me a preview, and I can open it on off of stream, and then we could see what it's all about. But yeah, but we do have also a build and setup showcase, which we will be doing later on in the stream. People are encouraged to post their own setups of like their whole PC setup, desk setup, stuff like that, keyboards, mouse, all included, as well as pictures of their PCs, like some of the people I've done here, and then I could look through them. We can look through them as a community and just, you know, either critique it, give praise, get, you know, inspiration for other people for their own builds and setups, etc. So yeah, just wanted to remind people of that. But going back to the Intel thing, let me read chat a little bit more. Let's see. Oh yeah, the 7800X3D and V650 motherboards. Was it just the V650 chipsets? It wasn't like the X chipsets or anything like that. But yeah, the little dimple, right? The dimple on the CPU due to voltage. So yeah, AMD though. What was, I don't know in terms of like comparing it to Intel, the amount of affected CPUs, if it was like a higher percentage or anything like that. Mastiff in the vertical stream says, where's the Discord link? Let me see this. Is there no way to look at the description? Let me get you the Discord link. Just because I'm not sure if the vertical lets you even see a description section. I have a description section in this vertical stream, but I don't know how easy it is to reach in that format. Oh my goodness, I just realized how hungry I am. Let me see if Melissa's home. Oh. They went out to lunch and she got me a sandwich from one of our favorite places, so she said she would bring the sandwich home. So I've been saving my appetite for that, which was a mistake apparently because I am starving right now. Let me check. I thought I heard the door open, but I'm just checking to see if her car's in the driveway. Okay, she's home. Okay, that means I'm good to eat after the stream. But we still got another like hour or so. Okay, let me see. Not on your iPhone. Okay, so iPhone is not allowing you to easily check the description. Okay, I posted it in the chat, so yeah. So is class action like the worst of worst for lawsuit? I'm actually not sure. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer. If anybody who is a lawyer or who has family or friends who are lawyers or who are just into watching lawyer type stuff on YouTube and can chime in, feel free to let us know. But class action, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, with the whole... Because, like, this is just processors, right? For the most part, I don't think people are dying over this. Unless these computers are, like, in some kind of situation where, I don't know. I don't think these chips are, like, in, you know, hospital settings where, like, oh my god, it failed and now someone's gonna die, right? Like, life-threatening wise, I don't think that's the case. But I'm trying to think of, like, in other, cases where it is something like a transportation or, like, Boeing, for example... was it considered a class action lawsuit to pay the families of the individuals that passed away from their planes crashing? I don't remember if it was specifically class action or if there's like another like tier of, you know, suing a company, but people FT204, people are gonna end up getting like a $5 check from Intel. I don't know how, like, I'm trying to look back. I think, you know, you sometimes receive these pamphlets in the mail that are like, you could be a part of this class action lawsuit for some random thing that you may have bought, or something like that. Like, I've received pamphlets like that in the mail or letters, like, over the years. And for the most part, I think they usually disclose the amount, too. I've only ever seen the ones directed towards me for, like, yeah, a couple of dollars. I don't think I've ever seen one over 2 digits, like, over $10. But I don't know how they determine, like, what the damages done is worth. Intel is replacing all the CPUs. It is if this is like your only computer and your CPU gets damaged due to this, then it is a pretty big inconvenience to send your CPU to Intel. Now, Intel does have this program where they can send you a replacement CPU even before you send in your damaged one. All you have to do is like you have to like pay like $25, I believe. And then once they get your other CPU, I don't think they refund you the $25, but they end up not charging you like the $400 or whatever the CPU costs. I've had to do that before when RMing an Intel CPU in the past. But you're essentially paying $25 to get like a replacement brand new CPU. But I'm getting back to it. It's just like what dollar value amount do you put on the people who are like distressed over this situation, right? Most people, like, it's not like the CPUs are completely, they're like becoming unstable and damaged, but you could still use them to some degree, right? Like in either like low voltage, low clock states. So in terms of like downtime with your computer, you could just keep using your computer until Intel takes, whatever, a few days to a week to send you the replacement CPU. And then you send yours back. They confirm it was damaged via that. And then you're done. So potentially there could be like zero downtime with your computer. So I don't know how much they would even pay out in this case. Intel, they say it, if your CPU degradation, they will not replace it. Wait up. I haven't seen them say any posts regarding this. If your CPU degradation, which means it's not becoming unstable, but CPUs, everything slowly degrades over time unless they're able to actually figure out how much you have personally degraded. I'm guessing this comment is basically saying, Intel is saying, if you have degraded your CPU via overclocking or something, they will not replace it. Is that what you're trying to say? Robert Fixit says, I have received 4 to 5 class action checks this year and I did not even participate. What? You got the checks without even participating? I don't think I've ever gotten a check. I have only received pamphlets to say, do you want to participate? Dang, lucky. Mike Levote says, class action is good for the lawyers, never the plaintiffs. They clean up, you get $2. Yeah, I guess it's because whatever lump sum amount gets spread over like the tens of thousands. I don't know. Tens? You think the amount of people affected by this Intel potential class action suit, do you think it's in the tens of thousands? Remember, we're talking mostly i7s and i9s. So you're not counting the i3s or the i5s, which I feel like would be a decent chunk of it. Are we talking about tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, people? I don't know if I could imagine it being in the millions. I don't have... Mike Brazone, are you in the chat? Mike Brazone would be the person to talk about because he follows the whole Intel sales channels and stuff like that. But yeah. Bob Plant says, I got $184 from the Vonage class action lawsuit, and I didn't even know there was a lawsuit. Vonage. Vonage. Okay, yeah, I remember they're like telecommunications, like cell phone plans and stuff, right? Vonage for home, residential home phone service. Okay. Yeah, that's why it's I've never like had Vonage service or anything like that, so I totally forgot it was even a company. Mastiff just posted a setup on the Discord, and I would definitely get to that part of the stream. But I just wanted to more so talk about that today. Let me put this article, and all the articles have links within links within links if you want to follow the story back again. But shoot, the chat has been going, and I was totally going through the story that I probably missed everybody who said they actually did have a 13th and 14th gen. So again, if you do have a 13th or 14th gen, can you sign off so that I could see in the chat? Because actually, let me end this poll. Come on. Can I end this poll? I cannot. Okay, here we go. 50-50 phone and PC for the people on the phone, and then 67-33 on the people who are watching from the traditional format. Okay, article. So let me put the article in here just so people can see for their own purposes. Okay, but let me see in the chat. Yeah, so Khalifa says, I have a 1300K that works fine, but from the first day I got it, I synced all the P cores and I don't let 2 P cores boost. Or I don't let 2 P core boost. Okay. Okay, let's see. People are having different conversations. CPPC Tech says, I've got a 14900K and it's less stable than day one. And it's only a few months old. So it's less stable than day one. What have you done with your chip so far? Wait, like, how have you figured out that it's less stable? Have you run it? Well, you have a 14900K, so I'm assuming people who buy K chips, I mean, you could buy it for, you know, higher boosts, but I'm assuming a lot of people buy it and start tinkering around and overclocking and stuff like that. But like, did you do a baseline overclock and stability test when you first got it, and then run into some crash issues that you had to like dial it back down, or play with voltage? Like, how did you determine, you specifically, how it became less stable than day one? So Price has got to go, but added your Discord. Check you out later. I'm gonna be yes. No. The Xeon thing, you can, if you're bored and have like 2 hours to kill. Last week's stream, actually, you can even skip to that part. I didn't timestamp that stream, but you could find that part where we look through it, and I do want to do that. We might do a shopping stream where I do buy the parts for a Xeon specific build, because multiple people have brought that up. But yeah. Simon Lee is asking, why did we switch to vertical? We're not switched to vertical. We added vertical. Now, some people have told me that the vertical stream popped up for them and not the traditional stream. But this is something new that we're going to have to get used to. I plan on doing both vertical and traditional landscape streams. You could just check my channel, and both of them should be on the stream tab. You could go back to the normal one if you want. But I'm just doing both because it's more YouTube pushing vertical streams. There's more visibility, etc. So yeah. What's up, Avery Kettering? CPPC Tech says, had it running a 48 gigabyte 7200 kit stable for 2 months. Then had to... So the instability in the CPU is actually affecting your ability to run overclocked memory. So that's how you realized it? Okay, interesting. Casey Walls says, Intel will never make a CPU as legendary as Sandy Bridge ever again. Would you guys watching the stream agree with that? To be fair, Sandy Bridge is... I feel like it's pretty legendary. I think by this point, people have stopped making like Optiplex or whatever workstation PC builds with Sandy Bridge for the most part. I'm sure there's still some content creators, and I might even return to it at some point in the future. But Sandy Bridge, what was that? 2012? Let me look this up real quick. Actually, I looked it up on here. So Intel, let's just look at the 2700 CPU on their official website, 2700K. What was the release date on this? End of service updates is 2019, but the launch date with so launch date was 2011 with expected discontinuous. So what is that? Pulling it off the shelves and like retail channels and stuff like that. Was 2 years after that. So yeah, the end of 2011. I feel like there was a good amount of Sandy Bridge Intel content all the way up to like 2018, maybe even 2019. And there's still people who are doing it now, but it held strong for a long time. Like a good 6 to 7 years. And I think for the most part, people have fond memories of it. I don't know many people who have said negative things about the Intel Sandy Bridge and Ivy Bridge to some extent too. Survivalist had his 13700K and it's been fine. So yeah, this doesn't affect everybody, but I will be very curious to see the actual percentage or raw number of people affected. Simon Lee says, Intel really helping me out with my AMD stocks. Okay, actually, let's go to that. So, let's see, Intel stock. Let's look at 5-day. So, like the 1 day, here, let me zoom in. Sorry, vertical people. I keep on forgetting about y'all. And then let's look at AMD stock. I want to look at a side by side, but I don't know of a quick way to add them. Stock comparison. Here we go. Compare stocks on bar chart. Okay, let's look for okay. So AMD and let's look at Intel. Give me a second. I will view comparison chart. What the? I put Intel in there too. Unless I'm doing this wrong. If not, I'm just gonna pull up 2 separate charts. Okay. Where's the Intel? It's just showing. Oh, wait. It's not actually showing Intel, is it? Unless I am blind. Is it because of the? It's the. What are their prices? What is AMD? Is it because of the Legend? Not the Legend, but the Axes. AMD stock. It is, but I mean, this is going up. No, this percentage. All right, give me a second here. I've never used this website before, so all right. They're not even gonna be on the same axis, so we can't even do the comparison. We have to look at them separately because we're looking at $30 versus $144, and we would need like a dual axis graph. So, okay, so 1 day, I mean, overall, they're both positive. Let's look at 5-day just to see the trend, just based on like the news that has been going on, right? So this is Intel. This is their 5-day. What is this? July? Yeah, this was just a day ago. I mean, I'm trying to see if this is correlating to any like specific article that was posted or anything like that, but the class action stuff was, at least by Tom's, when I googled it, I didn't see it posted anywhere else or covered anywhere else. AMD stock, I mean, in the 5 days, it did take a pretty, like a decent like spike on the upward trend and then settling down a bit. Now let's go to a month, because this whole Intel debacle has kind of been, I mean, Intel ramped up for until like mid-July. Okay, now I need to see when this actually was first. Let's see. So we got July 22nd here, but when was it first covered? I'm gonna look at on the YouTube side of things. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's see. So, let's see. Window Intel CPU. So that was only 2 weeks ago. Is my memory failing me? No, and then Wendell. So Wendell talked to Steve about it 2 weeks ago. Wendell made his own video 3 weeks ago. So yeah, 3 weeks, a month, but we look minus 3 weeks from the 31st. I guess that'll be like July 10th. Oh, okay. So there we go. So here is July 10th. I mean, when it did take a dip, it went from what, 34. So it dipped like $1.30 percentage wise off of 33-ish percent. What is that? That's like 3% ish, like 3% change in the stock, which does, I mean, I don't know if we could say this was due to Wendell's video, but then you go for a bit more, and then it went from the high of 34.87 down to 30 bucks ish. That's sitting at right now, and then AMD, in that same month, it's not like AMD. Like, I wish we could overlay the trend of these graphs regardless of the axes, but yeah, it's not like once Intel started dipping, AMD went on the uptrend. Like, AMD is just doing whatever. I don't think, it doesn't seem like to me, and I'm not like stock or like an analyst or an expert in stocks and stuff like that, but this trend where Intel declined a bit, it's not like AMD was on the up. So yeah. How do we get, someone brought up stocks, that's why we're looking at this to begin with. But oh, look at the 6-month and 1 year chart. I mean, we could look at that. I was mainly looking at these for the specifically this instability issue. All right, so we got Intel. I mean, they were at 40 whatever, 6 months. So 6 months ago compared to now, yeah, that's a big drop. AMD has a little bit more of up and downs, but we're 167 to 144. If we're just looking at the endpoints here. Now, we're not talking about, why did I sound like that? It was because when we're talking about the big three companies here, right? You've got Intel and AMD compared to a month ago, compared to 6 months ago, a little bit down. But then you got Nvidia. Let's look at these Nvidia graph. The 1 day, upward trend. 5 days, they had a dip. I don't know what this could have been done. That's 1 day ago. So just yesterday, there was a dip. Pretty drastic. Jeez, going from like 116 down to 102. I don't know if that's due to any news or just due to people mass buying or selling. 1 month. And so 124 versus 117. Okay, not too bad. Now look at the 6 months. If you're going to compare it to Intel and AMD. And again, first of all, I'm not even giving financial advice, but we're just looking at this for fun because we were talking about the two companies anyways. But just in comparison, my goodness, that Nvidia trend. Let's look at year to date. Oh my god, it's like the same trend except with bigger numbers. Let's look at the 5 year. Essentially, right? So if you bought Nvidia a year or more ago, you're in Happy Land right now. But yeah, I did not intend to talk about stocks just because I am not like a huge investor. I don't follow stocks super closely. I just see whatever's on the headlines, like, oh, whatever's trending up. And of course, Nvidia with the whole AI like explosion in the last year, they have basically been winning. All they do is win no matter what. So yeah. Jason Whitmer says, put a 14,700K on discount and I scoop it up, baby. So let's take a look at Camel. Camcell. What the heck is a Camcell? That's like a camel incel. Camel. Come on, I can spell here. Camel. If we look, I don't think the price has like changed the trend. So 14,700K. Can we find the Intel 14,700K? Do I need the link for it? Yeah, let's take a look at this thing. Okay. If we look at the price trend, let's not look at all time. Let me zoom in for the birds. For the vertical folk. Let's look at the 1 month. Yeah, this was like, what is this, Prime Day right here? Prime Day sales or something like that. It would be nice if after all of this, these CPUs take a massive price, drop. Like $50 to $100 discount. I don't know if that might be wishful thinking. Actually, we have to see if this damages Intel's reputation enough where it affects sales to the point where they do have to force a price reduction. I mean, it seems too early to tell now, but yeah, I would pick one up if the price was right? Especially if they're going to apply a fix. So, if they can apply the fix, which, in 2 weeks, halfway through August, they apply a fix, everyone else who didn't get their CPUs damaged, or at least didn't, I guess that's the question. Can the average person who bought, like, an i7 or i9, can they confirm whether or not their chip has been damaged? Because instability doesn't mean it stops working. It'll just crash once you reach like certain like clocks or voltages. But there could be people out there who are completely either unaware. So maybe Intel will send something out to like every potential customer. Or like if you bought it from a certain retail channel, they might be forced to send out like a recall type notice. But aside from that, even if you do know about it, how can you as an individual, especially if you are someone who's not like a heavy enthusiast into like messing with BIOS settings, overclocking stuff, how can you for sure tell if your chip is damaged? I didn't see anything regarding that. Someone earlier mentioned that they posted their numbers to IGN. I did not see what that was all about. Like, does IGN have a way for you to test and you could post? Like, do you just run it at stock and depending on how it decides to boost in something, like your scores on a certain benchmark? Is that what they were talking about? Robert Pixit says, let's all scoop up Intel stock at the same time. That's one thing that I never really understood about stocks. If you do like a coordinated, like huge coordinated trade or movement of stock like that, like when they say like when you buy a bunch of stock, that increases the price, right? And when you sell a bunch of a stock, that decreases the price. But for every buy, isn't there a sell? So how do you determine when you see like mass movement due to large trade volumes? How do you determine if it's considered like massive amounts being bought or massive amounts being sold? Again, I'm an idiot when it comes to this stuff. Everything that I don't know about, I usually have to like do more research on. And this is something that if I have done research on it in the past, especially during the GameStop debacle, I'm sure I read about this before. But it's one of those things where you don't think about it for a while. It's in one ear, out the other eventually. So buy the dip, sell the pre-peak. Well, you buy up the selling amount, that's why they go up. Okay, now we're talking about like options and like stuff that's like ready to be sold at a certain price, right? And people buy that up, or you are correct, buying a lot lowers the price. But that's what I was saying. Buying a lot lowers the price, but to be able to buy a lot, doesn't someone on the other side have to be selling a lot, which should increase the price? Anyways, I'm an idiot when it comes to this kind of stuff. Dude, I'm not giving out financial advice, so I don't even need to give the disclaimer of, this is not financial advice. But yeah, yeah, when I see 13th and 14th gen lemons come to mind. The lemon factory not getting me. I mean, we can't call Intel a lemon factory right now. This is just one thing. That would mean you would call AMD the lemon factory when they had their 7800 X3D issue. Comp TV in the vertical stream. Okay, I gotta ask. Vertical stream people. I feel like I've been not showing you guys enough love, and I apologize. This is a new thing for me, right? Once I can integrate the chat into one window, at least for me to see, and I can bring up the highlighted chats, then that would be a lot more helpful. But people in the vertical stream, how did you come across my stream? Did you come across it while going through YouTube Shorts? Did you come across it because you are a subscriber to my channel and you got fed a stream notification, but it just happened to be the short YouTube Shorts or vertical stream one, and you clicked on it? Or did you just hop over here because I told you guys about the vertical stream and you wanted to check it out? Let me know. Simon Lee bought the GME stocks at the dip and hosted a barbecue for the boys with the funds. Nice. GME is such a weird story because by this point, the stock should have... Because what is GME going for right now? And yes, I was the whole part of the whole GME thing too. I'm still positive on my GME. But yeah, so 2267. If you look at, because like a year ago. So yeah, GME is so interesting because it has had like these and they GME had a split too as well. So yeah, so if you look at 5 year, like before GME happened, GameStop was trading at like literally $1. What can I look this at? I mean, it was anywhere from under $10. I guess if you go back a decade, it was higher. But you start looking at from, what year is this? 2019 up until it exploded in 2020. For like the 2 years leading up to the whole shorting thing. It was like $1. It's been what was the peak at all time? And this is the split, the post split price now, right? So it's not going to be as high as what it well, I don't remember what GME went into, the hundreds of dollars, but so 2021, we are 3 years after the fact, and the stock is still sitting at like $23. If this was like just a short squeeze that everybody predicted it was going to be, and it was just like a crap stock, I mean, you could argue that it is a crap stock. But how is it that they're still being able to hold the value up above $20, given that the peak was like, what, like 50 on this scale, post split it was like 50 something, right? So, anyways, it's interesting. How did we... Oh, because Simon brought up GME. If you guys are new to the stream, we get derailed a lot. This is honestly a glorified hangout session. Where people could either give input, ask questions and stuff like that. And I try to do my best, like when people ask PC hardware related questions, to answer them. But because right now I have to read 2 chats. And chat usually moves so fast that I can only hit so many things. A lot of the times, a lot of the other viewers chime in and help, people who have questions out. So, yeah, that's what goes on around here. Ooh, I need to wash this water bottle out. CompTV Lee found it because I'm a sub and it linked to the vertical one. Interesting. I posted both of the streams at the same time ish. I actually posted the normal stream first, and I wonder if it's because YouTube decided to push the one that was posted later out. But okay, interesting. Good to know. Thanks for chiming in. The bacteria from the water bottle caused the infection in your foot. I don't think so. The infection happened 6 weeks ago. Before I even... The reason I'm starting to use this water bottle is because, you know, with the foot being, like, I can't walk on it. Instead of being able to carry my water bottles everywhere, I just have filled water bottles all over the house. So that I don't have to constantly be going to the fridge to refill. So yeah, just in the room, in the living room, by the TV, down here, it's just like water bottles that are filled everywhere. But because they are being consumed slower, they probably are gathering more bacteria than when I use only one water bottle and I'm constantly filling it and cleaning it out. So yeah, and I don't eat okay, maybe I eat, when it comes to expired food, the best buy date is not an expiration date. The best buy date is when it is best buy. But then there's also a good buy date, as well as a okay buy date, as well as this is like the last day you could potentially eat this without dying date, right? So best buy is like a recommended. You get the freshest, best quality, and then it's like milk. On the date on milk, you can usually extend that by a week, is like the rule of thumb. Anyways, GME is a meme stock. Well, if it was a true meme stock, it should have went back down to $1 by now, right? But there's enough people, you could say there's enough apes who are holding on to the stock, keeping the value high. But I mean, you're people out there are that okay with being separated from their money, holding on to the stock. So that I don't know if it's a meme stock, but to like some crazy levels that it kind of didn't become a meme anymore, and the stock is holding the value. So best buy date is when you give it to your friends. Nah, man. I'm okay with... I do the smell test with milk. If it doesn't smell spoiled, I'm consuming it, even if it's a week and a half after. My Asian in-laws will just leave food out all night and they will eat in the morning. They constantly have stomach issues. I don't know why. Okay, regarding the food, leaving food out, like, what food are you talking about? Like, we bought donuts from the bakery recently. I'm not refrigerating donuts, right? I guess that's a pastry. You're probably talking about cooked meats. Okay, I'm not going to do the pastry comparison because, yes, breads and pastries you can leave out of the fridge. Pizza! We've had the pizza not the argument, but discussion before. When we do pizza for the LAN parties, when we don't have room in the fridge, we buy pizza Friday night. Sometimes it sits on the counters until Sunday midday. And we are still eating it up to that point. And I have not heard of any stories of people getting food poisoning, diarrhea, upset stomachs, or anything like that. Pizza might be a different thing though, because you could argue it's super greasy and maybe like processed. Pizza's not really... The cheese is processed, I guess. I guess the sauce is processed. And pepperoni is pretty processed. Okay, you could argue it's processed meat. But, I'm trying to think like... I have left food out on the counter for an extended amount of time. Cooked food, not like friggin' just raw eggs or like raw meat or something. Like we cooked fried rice recently. I'm pretty sure I've had it out in the counter for like 16 hours and ate it. Like 16 hours unrefrigerated. But, I don't know, man. Maybe I just have a good stomach. Talking about diarrhea isn't a weird thing in China because it's so common. Everyone's constantly puking. Okay, we're gonna shift the conversation away from expired food and stuff like that. Am I still holding GME shares? I hope you saw at the top. I'm still holding on GME shares. Dude, people, how are you supposed to know when the top was? Right? On the way to the top, it was the top all the way up till then. I'm still in like a positive position right now. I have not lost money. And I don't know if I want to sell it in case something does happen down the line. The fact that it's held on for this long, I'm just going to see where it goes. Obviously, if it starts to tank, then I'll pull out money. But I'm still in the positive based on how low I bought it at. But anyways, this is not financial advice. Do not mimic or take anything I say as advice. Don't go out and buy GME right now. If you were part of the whole short squeeze situation, then whatever. But at this point, yeah, I'm saying not to buy it. Avita says Best Buy toss date is, or Best Buy date is toss date. See, I don't know if I agree with that. Robert Fixit says the live stream did default to vertical because you're on the phone. But people on the traditional landscape stream, did you guys get fed the traditional stream while you were on your phone? I think a decent amount. I think most people watch stuff on their phones, right? Like, how many of y'all sit down at a computer and watch? I guess earlier, we did the voting earlier. Not everybody voted, but it was like a 2/3 people said PC, 1/3 said on the phone. But yeah. Computer guy checking in. Danny, hope you're doing better health-wise. I gave an update early on the stream, but essentially, I'm still dealing with it. I still can't walk. Oh man, okay. We got some stuff I want to do before the end of stream. We're not ending stream like right now, but we have about probably 40 minutes left. We still have plenty of time, but I wanted to unbox, because we were talking about screwdrivers last week. The screwdrivers, then look at people's setups. But just to give you an update, or for people to get an update, I can't walk yet. My foot, like the pain level has basically gone away, except for when I try to walk on both feet. My foot still turns purple and looks burnt when I put it down for too long. I mean, by this point, I've had MRIs, CAT scans, X-rays, ultrasounds, full blood panel done. I think they're gonna cut my foot open is the next thing. I have an appointment tomorrow with what was the foot doctor's name again? I get not an orthopedic doctor, but a podiatrist. They are gonna take a look at my foot. I hope they're gonna say, let's cut it open. I have been ready for surgery for like the last 3 weeks. I want to get back to normal ASAP. PAX West is in a month. I'm going to PAX West. I was actually able to get a media badge this year because I'm going to make content there. I do not want to be walking around with a pirate peg leg crutch during PAX. That will be horrible. Then we have the LAN party next month near the end of September. I do not want to have a peg leg while, doing LAN party at my house. So, yeah, that's the health update situation for anybody who missed it earlier in the stream. So, dude, if they can't fix my foot, I'm ready to amputate half of it. I just need ankle mobility. I don't need the midfoot to the toes. Because honestly, what's that good for? You don't grip stuff. I mean, I guess you do for stability sometimes. You get more stability, yes. But if I can't put my weight on my foot, what's the point, right? But if you think about it, like, I know the big toes, they help with, like, stability. Otherwise, your foot would, like, invert in. Like, you do when you walk around and, like, balance yourself. A lot of, you do put pressure on the big toe. But if I cut half of my foot off at the midfoot and put on a, what's it called? A prosthetic, it'll be mostly back to normal. Like, I can walk upstairs again. I could do whatever. I could roller skate. The only thing would be, like, if I'm trying to, like, I don't know, play tag or some kind of sport that requires running and quick turning and stuff and, like, stabilizing yourself. Or maybe even squatting and deadlifting. Ooh, that might be affected quite a bit if half of my foot is gone. But yeah, that's, like, worst case scenario. I don't think I'm going to get my foot amputated. I just hope they fix whatever the heck is wrong with me. Will be nice when we could have cybernetics instead of just prosthetics. Yeah, like being a cyborg where you actually have, like, things running into the prosthetic and it's actually smart and can work with your nerves and potentially your brain. Yeah. Lee says, Danny still goes to pediatric. Confirmed. No, I do not. No such thing as Asian cyborg. You just go straight to, you just go straight to Gundam or like a mecha suit. Yeah, but what I wanted to do, John the Net Guy, who I don't know if he's in the chat. If he is, I missed it. So I gathered all of the because remember I was saying I collect what's it called, ratcheting screwdrivers. It's been a thing. I've been enjoying ratcheting screwdrivers for the last, I don't remember when I bought the first one, but it's been like 4 or 5 years, I think. But I mean, so we've got like a bunch of ratcheting screwdrivers. This is the one that I unboxed like last stream, right? Or was the Amazon, or 2 streams ago, maybe the Amazon basic one. I bought this for $6. This is now $13. This is the broken one that I figured out. This one, something happened with the gearing. Like, you cannot turn a screw with it, but if you use like a crescent wrench or an adjustable wrench, you can hear it. You hear that? It still ratchets, but something happened to the gear or something that is jammed, and I have no way of taking this apart without just completely breaking it. It doesn't have like any nice tabs that I can like push on, but this still works. It's just not usable because so much force is required. But I could change the direction of the ratcheting. Like, yeah, I could turn it both ways. So for now, this is not a dumb screwdriver, but it functions as a basic screwdriver. Here's the Cobalt one that I was talking about that my mom bought me for Christmas one year. This one has a so the way that this one, you switch the ratcheting direction is you pull up and down on this. And now that I think of it, this one doesn't have a neutral position. You cannot use this as like a locked position to turn both directions. It's either up or down, this right here, to decide. But then we have the LTT stubby screwdriver. We've got the custom LTT Ninja Turtles Raphael red LTT screwdriver. And then we've got, I think this was my first or second ratcheting screwdriver set thing that I bought. But this one is interesting because it has a like a head that can angle, but same thing. This is, yeah, I think the ratcheting is coming through the stream, but most of these have very nice like ratcheting mechanisms. It's just this one kind of sucked. The Amazon Basics one, it gets stuck a lot, and then this one got busted. And then I have this kit right here, which came with the Corsair build kit. This one is also pretty nice in terms of this piece that they have in here. See, the thing about ratcheting screwdrivers is they all have their own little features that make them like kind of unique and kind of cool, which is why I want to collect a lot of them. But this one here, so it has a completely removable shaft, right? The shaft is completely removable, but you could adjust the height of the shaft. So you see this, you can set it down to here. You could pull it up. The shaft has notches in it, which you can't see because this camera sucks at focusing. But you could adjust the different heights and it locks in. But this one has actually a very like satisfying, like when you talk about thockiness, this like a keyboard, this one is pretty thocky. It has like a much more bassy, deep ratchet. And I'm just realizing I sound like a complete either psychopath or too enthusiastic right now about ratcheting screwdrivers. But that is the screwdriver collection so far. But this is one from WorkPro that John the Net Guy, one of my one of my friends and YouTube colleagues, sent over because we were talking about ratcheting screwdrivers. I think it was 2 weeks ago. 1 or 2 weeks ago. Let me get my knife. James Ray said, 13-in-1 multi-bit screwdriver set, all-in-one, super durable. Okay, I can pull that one up actually. I mean, I am always down to look at tools. I actually have, it's not gonna be a video or anything, but I found on OfferUp, someone was selling a bandsaw, a Craftsman bandsaw, and a Chicago miter saw, so that's the Harbor Freight brand. Each one for $50. So I went and picked that up yesterday. I had to drive with the trunk of the Yaris open to pick up the bandsaw, but it's because I need more cutting for when I have to do repairs around the house. I have to repair one of the stair steps, and I need more cutting tools and motorized saws and stuff. But yeah, I'm a fan of tools because unlike computers, for the most part, tools don't really depreciate. They hold their value and are, if you take care of them, functional for many, many years. Whereas like if you buy a computer right now, right, in 5 years time, it's going to be worth like half the value. But if you talk about like a screwdriver, I mean, I guess that you think the LTT screwdriver is ever going to like go on a permanent price reduction? Assuming Linus, you know, and the LTT store stays in business for like the next 10 years. This is something, unless they can drastically reduce production costs, this is from the day that I got this to 10 years from now, assuming I don't break it, it is the same, like it is just as useful, whereas a computer starts to like show its age over time when you're trying to run like modern day stuff, right? But yeah, that's why like with tools, investing in them could be like worth it. Buying like nicer tools, I guess. I still buy kind of cheap tools. Like I bought used bandsaw and miter saw, but tools are one thing I wouldn't mind paying more for because they don't depreciate and become like irrelevant, similar to like other electronics, like a cell phone. Once you stop getting updates and your phone starts bogging down due to planned obsolescence, like your iPhone that you spent $1,000 on 5 years ago, okay, maybe not 5 because iPhones last a long time. It starts to show its age and just becomes like unusable. Sorry. Yes, brushless tools. Lee knows. We watch the same. What's that guy's name who does all the Home Depot hauls? But okay, I just unboxed the Work Pro. Okay, I'm gonna admit we're gonna look at this on Amazon. And unfortunately, I don't have affiliate links or links to. I guess I could just give it, but. Let me... Okay, so what is this? Work Pro ratchet screwdriver. When did I press cap box? Okay. This thing. Right here. This is what we're looking at. And I'm going to try to zoom in for y'all in the vertical. I'm going to admit, when John sent me the link for this screwdriver, just looking at it, I think I was mostly turned off by the fact that it doesn't have like small bits. It has like whole shafts. So it's like, those are like really big pieces. And I guess one thing too, not having like a hex head or a bit. What do you call those? I'm blanking on the name of that. What the end of these screwdrivers are. The part that holds like the screwdriver bit. You can't use other bits with it. Like, let's say you want an ultra magnetized one, or like one that's made of some kind of alloy that's a lot stronger, etc. Because these just come in like the different shafts. One negative that I can think about for the screwdriver, right off the top, without even like using it, is the fact that you are pretty much stuck to using the included, oh, this size out really nicely, but you're stuck to using these or similar ones. I guess you could buy, probably on Amazon, they sell, what's it called? Like these double-ended shafts. I don't know what the technical name for this is. I love tools, but it's not like I know every technical name for every single part. But yeah, so I think one con for me is that this, you can't use interchangeable bits. Now, one of my concerns, man, I really wish this could focus. Let me see if I put this close enough. Here we go. It is focusing now. I'll just hold it up here the whole time. One of my concerns with this was the fact that the shaft runs the entire length here, I thought these might get stuck, but they actually, like, look at this. I can just push it and it like kind of flies out. Now, I guess that's a good thing in that it's not hard to remove, but what if I shake this very heavily? Okay, yep, you see how they're starting to come off at the end? I'll show you again. So there's nothing coming off at the end here, right? Now let me go. Oh, here. My hand was on it. So for whatever reason, if you're, I don't know, you dropped a screwdriver or something, you see how they're starting to come out? So I don't know, I guess if you drop your screwdriver or something, like these shafts can fall off. Like they're starting to come out. But you don't want them to be so much friction or so tight fitting that it is a pain to get out. So I wonder over time as you slide in and out and the friction rubs, if it becomes more loose and they will fall out more freely. But in terms of build quality and heft of this thing, probably due to all these different, partially due to these different shafts in here, this thing is pretty hefty. This feels like a quality, like, tool. It doesn't feel like this one. This feels cheap. It is light. It is mostly plastic, and it broke on me early. This is not always an indicator, but the weight of something could be an indicator of higher quality, like either materials used or, I mean, there are lighter alloys than others, so that doesn't always talk about strength. But I think Project Farm, that's one, he weighs everything, like tools and stuff, and one of the things that he says, and that's probably where I got it from, he always specifies weight isn't always an indicator of quality, but it could be. This thing is pretty freaking heavy, and I think let's set it up with one of these. Oh, okay. Yeah. This. Now let me switch the direction. Can you? It's hard to tell. Of the ratcheting of all the screwdrivers I just went over, and I would say the LTT screwdriver has the nicest ratcheting of all the screwdrivers I have. This one, it's close. There's a test that you can do with these ratcheting screwdrivers. How fine the teeth is and how many turns it takes to like get a full rotation. You have to watch the Project Farm video. He explains it better than I can. But in terms of like the ratcheting mechanism in this one, yeah, it is for a $20 screwdriver. The ratcheting mechanism, I can just feel it, and just based on listening to it in real life, I can tell it's a higher quality, and it's gonna rank up there with the LTT one compared to all the other ones I have. At $20, that's pretty impressive. Just minus the downsides, if you consider a downside of these complete, the shafts, double-ended shafts. Mike says, look, there is blue painter's tape where? Which handle? Are you talking about this? CompTV says, I only buy adamantium tools. Wayne from the Vertical chat says, hope everything works out. Cool thing about legs is you don't have to squat or deadlift. Plenty of abs. Yeah. Unfortunately, so for those of you who don't know, I have a home gym. And with the home gym, you're really, I'm limited due to garage space and because I'm cheap to leg exercises in terms of, if I want to do added resistance in the form of weights. If you go to, a commercial gym, you can have a, there's, what's it called? Leg extension machines, the reverse leg extension, hamstring curls, stuff like that. In my home, though, if I want to do, increase weights for, I don't know, just, to become bigger, I really only have, my barbell and my squat rack. I don't have these specialty machines that allow you to, do those types of movements. I'm trying to think, what other leg workouts can I do in the garage with a squat rack and barbell that's not squat or deadlifts that can train legs? You could do body weight squats, but that's a squat. I guess, yeah. What I gotta be missing something. Like, I feel like most of the leg, like, there's, what's the one where you're on a sled? Leg press. With leg presses, that's kind of like a seated squat where the sled moves in a different direction. But I feel like having a prosthetic foot on that would kind of suck too. Even though stability isn't really an issue because it's on a sled, like a fixed sled. But anyways, yeah. Sorry. Robert Fixit says, I'm a mechanic by trade, so I get real... Oh, band training? I guess you could do that. Yeah. But that would be, I guess... That would be more... I guess you could get very heavy resistance bands, and you could do, like... You can move your legs in the different directions and stuff to work out. Yeah, I can see that. And I do have bands in the garage. I've never used them for leg exercises, though, because... of the deadlift and squat, but PB James just chimed in. My foot is not feeling better, but hopefully by next week we will have more answers. But yeah, okay, so quick overview of this. I can't give it a review because I don't have like proper testing methodology and everything like Project Farm did. I don't think he tested this screwdriver. If he did, then I totally forgot that he did. Because he did test like a bunch in that video. This screwdriver, I would say for 20 bucks, I would say it's worth it. If you can live with the way it's designed with these, you know, double-headed shafts and not like individual tiny bits like with the other ones. But yeah, I was thinking about buying one new ratcheting screwdriver just to like see what is out there, and they're cheap enough. If you look up ratcheting screwdrivers on Amazon, like let's just take a look at ratcheting screwdriver, and there's some big brands too. If you look at ratcheting screwdriver on Amazon, I mean, so 20 bucks, 25 bucks. This is the whole kit. This is the kit that I got, 32 bucks. You've got this Klein Tool one. You've got, I've never heard of it, Chardon? Huh. But this is similar to the one that I had in the box. 14 bucks, 20 bucks. This one's 30 bucks. But I'm interested in the $25-ish and under ones. Here's a Craftsman one, if you care about brand. So it's not all just like these random Chinese brands and stuff like that. If you care about brand at all, Craftsman, I hear... Craftsman, back when I was younger, like we're talking 15, 20 years ago, I heard Craftsman, and I think it was because Craftsman had like that Sears guarantee thing, where like if you had a Craftsman wrench or something like that, if you broke it, you could bring it into a Sears, and they will replace it no questions asked. It doesn't matter how used it was, doesn't matter how like beat up it was, didn't matter if you bought it 20 years ago, they would just straight up replace it no questions asked. Sears isn't around anymore. And I've heard in recent years, Craftsman quality has gone down. So I'm not saying Craftsman is a quality brand, but I think it's safe to say people sometimes trust more mainstream like American name brands than they would like whatever the heck this Zooey, I don't know, is Zooey an American brand? But I'm just saying, like this one, this Jake and My, I know because I bought this. This is like a rebranded Chinese you could get from Alibaba, AliExpress, and they'll throw whatever name you want on it type thing, right? So, local Sears was turned into an office building. Local Sears at some of the malls in my area are still just these big vacant empty buildings. Seems like a waste of space. They should turn them into micro centers. But yeah, if you look at these, there's like, here's a $21 stubby one. Here's the Amazon one that I picked up recently for half the price, and now it's gone and back as an Amazon Basics. Here's a DeWalt one, 25 bucks. So I'm just gonna pick up a ratcheting screwdriver, probably every month, just to just to collect them. It's always nice to have like very versatile screwdrivers around the house. Then I can leave them in certain places and not have to constantly be running around to to get them. I mean, there's some really cheap ones too. Here's a Makita one for 12 bucks. Here's a Lennox one for 14. So yeah, if you need a cheap ratcheting screwdriver, they're all over Amazon. So far though, like this one is $13 or $14. This one is $20. Just based on how much the ratcheting ring gets stuck on this one. I mean, it's better now, but last stream, it got stuck quite a bit when I was... Oh, did it just get stuck again? You kind of have to, like, wiggle it and, like, shake it a bit to get the ring to be smooth. This one, if you're okay with the way it's designed, 20 bucks. Yeah, this thing, ooh. Does this sound as nice to you guys as it sounds to me? Anyways. Oh, okay, and then, so this, the one that James recommended, this one right here, oh crap. Let me see if I can pull it up correctly. So you said, is it this pink one? What was the name of this thing again? Yeah, I think this is the one. Wow, this one looks nice. Is it only at Walmart? Comp TV. For the record, Craftsman was purchased by Black & Decker, who owned DeWalt. It's the more budget, homeowner-oriented brand now. Yeah, so DeWalt, I feel like now still has a pretty good reputation. I don't think DeWalt's like the highest end brand, but it's kind of like upper mid-tier, right? If I'm understanding this right. And this is just based on me doing whatever research and then coming across people discussing this on Reddit. But correct me if I'm wrong. So DeWalt has always had a pretty good reputation, but I don't think they were ever like the top. Because there are some really expensive tools out there. So, Black & Decker, though, I've had some really cheap Black & Decker tools in the past. So, I've never held them to that high of regard. But they were purchased by Black & Decker, who owned DeWalt. So, and Craftsman, it's the more budget-oriented brand now. Interesting. Okay. Oh, let me look at this one on Amazon then. Because ain't no one trying to buy from Walmart.com if they don't have to. Okay, let me see if I can simplify this. Where is this thing at? Because I see it here. It's a... I'm trying to look for the exact same transparent gray. Why is this not coming up? I put the exact same title that you gave me. That's not it. Yeah, because this one's see-through. Yeah, this one has like a I think it has a translucent, unless... Oh, no, it doesn't. Am I dumb? Wait. Oh, this is just a diagram? Okay. So, I'm not even looking for that. Apparently, I'm looking for this thing. That's not... This one isn't it, though. Bro, I can't find it. We might have to just... I don't know what's up with my Amazon not popping up with it. Oh, here it is. Wow, what the heck? You see this? I posted the exact title. The exact title right here. Onto Amazon. And I had to scroll down... Oh my god. How far are we scrolling down? This far. Just because it wasn't a sponsored post. It even has Prime. That's interesting. Anyways, let's take a look at this thing. 10 bucks. I mean, $7.95 could have been a sale price. Though, this is what I've noticed on Amazon a lot of the times. Well, we all know this about Amazon. They run these random sales. Like this screwdriver, I don't think it often runs at $15.99, 16 bucks. Currently, it's priced at $9.99, but someone in the chat, James, says they got it for $8 on Amazon. So yeah, prices are gonna change. But I mean, looking at this thing, it's gonna be your typical looks to be single shot. Is this adjustable? Yes, it is. So the design is very similar to a couple of the ones that I have, where it has like a notched shaft that you could adjust the height. So you can make it, it's not going to be considered a shorty because the handle is this long, but you can make it a shorter screwdriver by adjusting the shaft length. And then, yeah, it has like, how many bits is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 13, including the one that already comes, this one right here. Okay. I mean, this looks kind of like a, I'm not going to say, what was the original brand that the LTT screwdrivers, they worked with and redesigned parts of it. But I mean, you know, this one has the bit storage in the handle, and then it's probably just a normal functioning ratcheting screwdriver. But I do like, this thing looks pretty sleek. I'm going to add this to my wish list. I might pick this up for next month's screwdriver. Oh, it's $7.99 when I'm logged in. So apparently if you have Amazon Prime, or if you're logged into an Amazon account, it is $8. Very strange how they have it on here, because I'm not logged in here. I'm not trying to get doxxed. Okay, I'm gonna buy this now. I said it's one a month. I already got one. I'm gonna add it to cart. If it goes up in price by $2, whatever. I'm gonna add to my wish list, actually. Shopping list. Okay. But yeah. Looking at the chat real quick. I can't pull it up because it's gonna be the vertical, but Hill says, I personally hate the small bits, so the Work Pro's longer double-sided bits are so much better. Okay. That's fair. That is a good argument. If you are prone to losing the smaller bits, you could definitely benefit from the longer bits from here. But yeah, I feel like we did go down a screwdriver rabbit hole, indeed. Okay, we talked about screwdrivers for longer than I even thought we would, so I apologize for that. Now we are going to take a look at the people's setups and such. Give me 1 second. So again, for anyone who does not know, I do have a Discord server. It is not one of those mega PC enthusiast Discord server that has like multiple thousands of people, or like how big is the PCMR one? It's got to be like pretty big, right? We have a really small community here. We have like, I think 500 to 600 Discord members, but of course a lot of those people are people who joined and aren't actually active. In terms of active people, it is like a pretty small amount, under 50 for sure. So, but I'm in the Discord. Like, if you take a look, I've been trying to be more active in the Discord, right? Like, if you scroll through, you'll see that I am in here talking and stuff like that as well. But one of the things I use the Discord for is for people to submit links and showcase their PCs and setups. So stream submissions, like this is where if you guys had a link, you could submit it to me and I could look at a PC part picker list you had, or like a pre-built PC that you want me to look at and go over on stream. But someone posted something in general. This is a screwdriver. So Staying 2007 got their new tool. They bought this from Walmart. So this is their and I'm going to open this in the browser so that we can open it up big for the vertical folks. So here's the screwdriver. So it came as, so it looked like a set. So here's a normal size screwdriver with bit storage and a container for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30 bits. Which is quite a bit. And then also, it looks like there's a mini, like, more precision set with like a bajillion of these little tiny. You got like Torx, Hex, Flathead, Phillips, You got Hex. You got everything here. Nice. So yeah, that's what the Discord is for. People can like post to showcase things. But we are going to go to the build and setup showcase. Okay. And the point of doing this is just to highlight setups that people have. Just, you know, a lot of people put a lot of pride and work into their PCs and into their setups. And if they're not a content creator, like content creators, you know, we build our PCs, we make videos on it, and like for the world to see. But if you're like an individual person who does not like particularly make content or like post on Instagram and stuff, this is a way for us to shine light on some of the work that you've done. And we can critique it, we could give suggestions, or we could just look at it so that other people who are working on their own setups and builds can get inspiration. So I'm going to go in order. I'm going to go backwards because I know we only have 4 to go through anyway. So I know Igor posted. I don't know if Igor's in the chat right now, but Igor posted this Frostpunk 2 build. So let me see this. Wait up. Oh, this is a video. Okay. So let me see if I could get this opened. Oh, man. This is going to be hard. Can I open this in a new tab? Maybe if I do this. I'm trying to make it big enough. Sorry, I'm still figuring this out somewhat. With the pictures, they let you open it in a new tab. But people are going to have a hard time seeing it here. We're going to download this. And we're going to throw it into this window. Because I think that works. Here we go. Figured it out. Alright. It's Frostpunk 2. Got some side intake fans. Got what looks to be an LCD screen down here. What card is this? I'm gonna have to look at the post to see. Oh yeah, that looks nice. That is a clean build. All the RGB, okay, so what are the specs on this? But all the RGB being set to the same color instead of just like a rainbow rotating color. Okay, nice. So let's go back to here. Did Igor post without putting the specs? I think, oh no. He did. Because I'm not seeing specs for this. Oh, it's a Sapphire 7700 XT in here though. But man, I usually ask for a specs list just so, you know, we have an idea of what's going on in here. But you could tell, whoops, I did not mean to download it again. But you could tell, that was a fatty graphics card. This is like, definitely not, you know, old parts build. The RAM is Team Group Delta RGB DDR5. So you know it's on a modern either Intel or AMD platform. Cause with DDR5. That's all I see from it though, but Mike Brazone says everyone plays in a dark room, like designing circuit layout all in a dark room. I don't know if this makes me any less of a gamer, but I hate playing in a dark room. During the LAN parties, I think the majority of my buddies, the LAN crew, they prefer playing with the lights off, and I hate it. My eyes just start to strain way more when it's just like completely dark and you look at this bright monitor, which you could change the brightness, but still, like, just watching a screen in a dark room for a long period of time strains my eyes, but also it's horrible recording environment for the LAN Party Story series. Like when all the lights are turned off and only the PCs and the screens are illuminating the room, that is horrible for recording LAN Party Story footage with like a camera. It's just it's indoor lighting. Like it's bad enough that it happens inside, you know, sunlight is like the best source of lighting when it comes to cameras. Bright indoor lighting is the next best, and then dim indoor lighting is like the worst case scenario you can get. I would say, like, kind of like even on a overcast day outside, that natural light is still better than like the dome light inside of a house, if that makes sense. So just some LAN party tidbit information there, and just talking about playing in a dark cave of a room. Okay, so yeah, Igor. So I actually met Igor. I actually want to pull up the picture. Because actually I might be able to pull it up on the Discord. Yeah, Igor is a longtime supporter of the channel, so you know, I like to give people their shout outs and stuff. But yeah, here it is. Here's the picture. So I actually met Igor at LTX, and we took a picture together, and he actually sent me the picture because he asked me to sign it. So yeah, Igor's very nice person, and I always appreciate it when people stop me, like either in public or even at events like this, like LTX, just because I enjoy seeing the face on the other side. Like, for the most part, because most of you in chat right now, you guys don't use your real names, or you guys don't put your real profile picture, which is fine. It's online, anonymity, all that kind of stuff. But it's nice to put a face and a voice to the name that you see for, you know, so many years. Like, some of y'all, honestly, I think of the most... Okay, don't think of this as an insult, right? But unless I have seen a picture of you or have met you, I am assuming the average neckbeard PC Master Race... I'm kidding. I'm imagining the average PC nerd, right? Like, I have no idea. Nothing about your name gives anything about your physique, your height, any of those things. Even, you know, your gender. So, it's nice, and that's why I wanted to highlight this, because of the times I have been stopped or been able to meet up with fans, I feel like I get as excited, if not more excited, to see the viewer or fan. Like, yeah. I also am as equally flabbergasted and don't know what to say. So sometimes the conversation is very awkward because I'm not prepared for it, and sometimes they're not prepared for it, or they're just not used to, you know, talking to someone that they watch on YouTube. So, yeah, that was just a fun little backstory. Sorry about the little tangent. Back to the setups and showcase. Good thing, yeah, Shauner. Good thing Danny doesn't know who I am. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Shauner. He's in a YouTube short, and he's actually going to be in an upcoming LTX recap, kind of recap. Not really. It's just like a footage dump video that I'm doing soon. He's going to have a very small snippet in there, but yeah. Citrus says, which thank you for the support on the channel membership for 25 months, Citrus. I haven't watched the LAN party video yet. I have been too busy planning on tonight. You know what? Don't worry, because a lot of people, they watch the LAN party stories video right when it releases. Then they have like a whole month until the next LAN party happens. Or not a whole month, but a whole X number of months. So by delaying it, you are decreasing the time in between when you watch it to when the next video releases, if that makes sense. But okay, so we got that one. Now we have Leia Schumann. I could be butchering these names. I'm sorry, you guys, unless you give me a pronunciation. I have no idea. Okay, new room, 65-inch 4K 27-inch monitors, Ryzen 9 5900X, 32 gigs. I can't zoom into this anymore. I apologize. Yeah, it's not letting me really zoom into this post, but you should be able to read it here. Ryzen 9 5900X, 32 gigs of RAM, RTX 2080 Ti. Very, very, lots of monitor setup. I would say this is a pretty epic setup too. 2080 Ti is no joke. It was at the time, it was, how much was the MSRP on that thing? What was it, like $1,200? Or maybe it was the Asus Strix. Okay, I had the Asus Strix version that I did for the giveaway push-up plank competition thing. But, so it was $1,000, but the Asus Strix one, I remember specifically on Newegg and Amazon, it was like $1,200 or $1,300 because, you know, Strix tax. But okay, this is the setup. So we got the, how big was that? 65-inch above you? Is there neck strain trying to look at that thing? That, it reminds me, and this is not me trying to like throw shade or put you down or anything, but just what it reminds me of is there's this whole argument about mounting your TV in the living room, whether you should do it eye level versus above the fireplace. And there's like this huge movement that mounting a TV above a fireplace is like the worst placement ever, because you're going to be sitting kind of like this with neck strain when you're sitting on like a couch, right? The entire time. So, and I'm guilty of this too. My setup right now, my current setup is, I do have a monitor that is up here. So I'm also critiquing my own setup, but yeah. But 65-inch, oh my god, that is huge. Mine's only 29-inch ultra wide up top. But, I mean, you got some pretty beastly specs. I wish you would have also posted, I can see the GeForce, oh no, yeah, EVGA card over here. And then you got your build in the corner. You got your jug of either, what is that? Is that Kool-Aid? Is that creatine? What's that red stuff? What's that red stuff in this bottle? We got some snacks over here too. CompTV says, I switched to vertical monitors to save my neck from the side to side. Your neck from the side to side? Okay. I'm not sure if it's better or not. How long has it been since you switched? Something like that seems like it'll take like months to be able to realize the gains or not. Jonathan Tolber, what's up? What's up on the stream? It's like tiny on here for some reason. Anyone else? Yeah, because you're on the vertical stream. There's a link in the description, or if you just go to my channel, you can go click the normal stream. We are doing vertical and normal stream. Vertical for the phone people, vertical for the phone people, normal for the monitor people. You're at, oh god, you're at 3 years? Okay. Maybe it's time to switch back and forth now to see, because now you're so used to it. You probably, I'm not sure if you remember the strain from the horizontal side to side. John Beckwith says, my YouTube is the only exposed account where the name and picture is used without an alias for some reason, lol. Yeah, I mean, YouTube is not, there's not really a place where you could easily find people like on Twitter or Facebook or something, where if you type someone's name and then if you have a picture and stuff like that, they can try to dox you. Like, oh man, with the whole political stuff going right now, there's a lady who made some pretty much bad comments. You should never wish assassination on a president, right? I don't know, I don't remember exactly what she said, but she made some comments that made some people unhappy. So people doxed her. One person went to her job. She worked at, I think, Home Depot, approached her with the camera in her face, asking her, like, basically intimidating and pretty much harassing her, right? And then people called for her to get her job, or for her to get fired. So I think Home Depot put out a statement that she actually did get fired. So there is reasons not to put your name and like picture out on the internet. You could argue that as long as you're not a piece of crap person, you should be fine. But even then, like, I try to not be a piece of crap person. I don't believe I've been a piece of crap person online, but I have been doxxed and people have found out my address and have done stuff, which is why I am so paranoid and very careful about everything I do, because once it's out there forever. So that's just my quick note on that. Sorry again. I really need to get on some medications because I cannot stay on topic. But back to the setup. I'm a person who runs 3 monitors myself. I've run multiple monitors for the most part. I've run 3 monitors for a decent amount of years, on and off. But going back to it, I really like my 3-stack monitor. I'm trying to integrate a 4th monitor into my setup. I really like having 2 lower monitors below my big widescreen, just to throw things onto that I don't look at a lot, but like music players, stuff running on in the background, like for streaming, just having more space. But I'm having trouble getting that 4th monitor to display. I don't know if it's an Intel Arc thing. It might. I've only seen people use Intel Arc graphics cards, dedicated Intel Arc cards, with up to 3 monitor solutions. I cannot find a single person who has shown it working with 4 monitors, nor can I find a like definite somewhere where they've written like a definite limitation of if the monitor can the cards can only support up to 3. I'm thinking that they might not support more because I've tried different docks, different cables. I can't get a 4th monitor to show. So some people are crazy. I know someone that literally had someone show up to their door and worse because they wouldn't do something on YouTube. Oh, yeah. And I guess I would say as a relatively, I'm like a medium-sized channel on YouTube, right? Medium-sized, also a, like, being a male just makes, like, if you're a dude, you gotta be, like, especially in the content creator space, in terms of stalkers and stuff like that, it's like, you have to be thankful for that, right? Like, the stuff, the harassment, the misogyny, the stalking, stuff like that, that women content creators have to go through is just, like, it sucks to be them, unfortunately. So even though I've had my own share of doc scares and stuff like that, it's probably nowhere near as bad as some of the other women content creators out there. So that's not me trying to white knight. That's just me trying to, like, real talk. Waiting for the horror thriller Parasocial. There's definitely some on social media, but stalking... there's got to be a movie that's somewhat related to stalking like an internet star. Okay, so next we go on to... Can I make this size smaller? I can't. Huh? Built for flight simming from Mastiff. Alright, we got Mastiff. Okay, so Mastiff did put the specs here. Corsair 7000D. 7000D. That thing is huge. MSI MPG Z690 DDR4 64 gigs. You do have a 14900K. You said that earlier in the chat. But then you have an RTX 4080 Super. So we've got a beast of a rig here from Mastiff. Let's take a look at the setup. Alright. Oh man. Okay, so just my own commentary to add to this, you know, to try to be entertaining. We used to have a corner desk like this growing up in my, like, home, growing up through, you know, grade school up until college. I have not really seen these types of corner desks in terms of, like, when I go to furniture stores or IKEA. If they're there, I don't notice them. But, like, is this a thing of the past, kind of, these types of desk designs where you have, like, it's built for the corner, it's, like, either curvatured or diagonal, and then you've got these built-in shelves and, like, CD and DVD holders and floppy disk, like, sections to hold all your media and equipment and stuff like that. Like, I haven't used one of these desks in years. But I do like the nostalgic factor this picture brings back for me. But this is a flight sim setup. I was going to say that looks like my dad's old desk. What is that desk, lol? I mean, this looks like a desk that... I'm not trying to clown or anything. I just want to put that out there. Like, I actually like the nostalgic factor of this desk. But this reminds me of... For me, this desk was like late 90s, early 2000s was when a desk like this was a part of my life, right? So to see you still using it, I would imagine this was obtained many, many years ago, and it's working. And, you know, the next cheapest thing to like buying something is, or the most cheapest thing is the free stuff you already have. But yeah. There's normally 1 or 2 options of corner desks, but it's rare to see desks that have stores that go above the desktop nowadays. Yeah, like, so there are plenty of corner desks that exist. They usually don't have these, like, whatever, what do you call these? Media columns or, yeah. I wish I had pictures of my desk setup back when I had something like this. And our family computer was a part of it. But, hey, what's up, Anthony, from the Vertical chat. Okay, let's look at the split now that we're this late in the stream. Yeah, we've got 15 viewers on the Vertical, 53 on the normal. So the view count can still roll in after the fact, so I'm really curious to see those numbers once the stream ends. But yeah, this setup, because it looks like this stuff is attached to the chair, do you have 2 separate chairs for when you're not flight simming? Because I could imagine it's kind of uncomfortable having this the stick between your crotch the whole time, and like, I don't know, maybe you just use this no matter what because you are that hardcore of a flight simmer. Super Bling Cowboy on Vertical asks, hello, do you have any experience buying a GPU on Java? Actually, I do. It's fine. And I know multiple people who bought GPUs on Java. There's no... I guess what's the question? I think a lot of these questions is, do I trust Java as a platform to buy hardware from? And the answer is a definite yes. I treat Java similar to how I treat any other established marketplace to buy and sell PC hardware. Like, I don't have any questions whether or not they will take care of you should something go wrong. ZTT has entered the chat. Wait, where's Zach? Did I miss him? How do you know Zach is in the chat? See if the seller is sus or not. Even if the seller is sus, like, they'll return you your money if someone doesn't send you something or they send you a box of rocks. It's actually nostalgic. It looks like 2 desks put together. It might be, but I think some of these desks back in these days are like this. Okay. So yeah, Flight Sim. Let me try this. What I like about these setup pictures too is if you zoom in, and hey, I mean, they posted the picture. They would have blurred out or cropped anything they want people to see. I always... So we got the whole setup, right? Flight Sim setup, very cool. I like it. But I like snooping a little bit. Being like, alright, what else we got here? Like, dang, we can't read what the labels are on these CDs. We've got some... You know, we've got some... What looks to be like keychains or necklaces or something. Jewelry maybe hanging. A watch. We've got a box of 40 Mead envelopes, blank envelopes. We've got what looks to be a flat chiclet style keyboard. It's kind of hard to tell from this perspective. Is this an air purifier right here? Or, yeah, that doesn't look to be a humidifier. So yeah, I mean, we could call it a cluttered setup, but I'm kind of a big deal. A functional setup. What else we got here? We got a closer zoom up. Oh, you were making a joke because I was talking about Java, yeah. Though, a lot of the times when I do talk about Java, some of the Java peeps do pop up, like Death Tech and stuff like that. The main thing that would be horrible is if the PC market got infiltrated with knockoff components, which I was about to mention something, Shauner, but I wasn't sure if that was the fact yet. I was going to say, and possibly Shauner, because we've talked about this in the past. So you are official Java. Did we talk about it being official? I thought it was in the works last time it was brought up or mentioned. I do also have a bad memory, but Alright, we got a Jawa representative, which means you can bombard Shauner with all Jawa questions and he has to answer them. No, I'm kidding. Leave Shauner alone. Anybody who is a part of any other YouTube channel or part of like Jawa and stuff like that, when they come to the stream, they are to be treated as guests. They are not workhorses. You work them in your own time off of the stream, so I don't look bad on their work hours. But okay, what do we got? Okay, I don't want to accidentally dox you for what's on your screen, even though this is publicly posted in the Discord. This looks to be potentially a UPS down here, so very interesting. I'm unofficially official. I'm still just like once a week. Okay, gotcha. But hey, if you get paid by them, if you get a paycheck, you know, that usually is like a contractor based thing, right? If you're not official. And then this is the angle from, this is like you sitting in it yourself. Here we go. You got the POV right here. We do have a gamer chair. Pointing out the gamer chair. Trying not to like show the screen too much. Man, this to me, and again, obviously if it works, it works, but this looks like it could be cramped real fast. Like if you look at the amount of leg room you have and the ability to like shift around, move left and right, roll your chair around, and room for your legs, I would, if I had this set up, just me personally, I would want a secondary chair so I can move this thing out of the way when I'm not flight simming. Stain-free chair. Impressive. Wait, is this not coming on? Robert, fix it. There was a Jawa phone interview? Was it... Are you talking about to get like a verified seller status? Or are you talking about something else? I remember... I think it was the phone interview, right? For the verified? Trusted sellers. But... He's got his setup for flying helicopters too. Most just do planes. I can't even tell the difference between the two. But was that the last picture? Very nice. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty intense setup, like camping. But thank you for sharing, Mastiff. And then we got Alex OQ. And then I gotta go because it is 7:22 and we need to have like a cooldown of 5 to 10 minutes. So, we got Alex. Let's look at the specs real quick before we zoom in more. Is there no way to open this in a new window? Let me try 1 second. Follow post, lock post, edit post, copy link. But if I do the copy link and I paste it in a new window, is it gonna take me to just that link? Oh, it kind of does. Okay, this works. And then we can click on the picture. Okay. So Alex, one of my PCs, they say, 12900K Z790 Asus RG6 Asus Rio 3 ARGB. Oh, that's the AIO. Ryuo. Corsair engines, 32 gigs. 6200 megahertz DDR5. I'm assuming. Unless you got some crazy, some pretty nicely overclocked DDR4, I'm gonna get 6200 is DDR5. Because wasn't there some 700 series boards that still took DDR4, or was there no Z700 series boards that did, and that was only like B series boards or something? But we got a PNY 4090 Crucial P3 4TB, 2TB, 1TB SSDs, not memory. I mean, it's some people interchange memory with storage. PSU EVGA 850 watt. This is okay. Before we even look at the picture, now I'm not saying I'm going to recommend doing this, because if you have an RTX 4090, I'm pretty sure EVGA's minimum recommended power supply, isn't it 1000 watt power supply, or is it 850? Am I wrong? let me see. RTX 4090 recommended power supply. Oh no, it is 850. But that depends on what the rest of you have in your computer. Here, let me post this on here so that we can all take a look at it together. Now, Alex, I see you in chat. You're saying you need to upgrade. This was the next point I was going to get at. So first of all, EVGA says all you need is this, but they have no idea what CPU you have. You have a 12900K, so i9, pretty powerful. But the EVGA recommendation also takes into account some like conservatism, right? They're always going to estimate a little bit more for a number of reasons, because they don't want you running to the brim of like 100% PSU under full load for like a long time sustained. So they give you some conservatism also because they don't know what quality of power supply you're going to get, right? They don't know if you're going to get some you know, what's the meme brand power supply? Logisys. What's the other one? I'm not going to say Gigabyte just because they had one PSU that exploded, right? They fixed the issue and their PSUs, they have like A and B tier ones. But I'm talking about like, what brand do we think about as like, don't get a power supply from them no matter what model it is? Like, not Seasonic. Yeah, definitely 1000 watt would be the comfort zone here. Oh, Ari's Game Max or something. Yeah, Ari's Game Max. There's a bunch of brands that like they're on Amazon. They're way cheaper for obvious reasons. Those are the types of power supplies that like these companies, Nvidia has to also kind of account for in case you pick one of those power supplies. But 850 here, the best way to test it, because you pull different loads from your RGB lights, your AIO, your motherboard, stuff like that, right? The best way to test is to use one of those watt meter readers that they're cheap on Amazon. Let me see. And I do this all the time. So that, what is it, kilowatt? Is there not a cheaper one? Has the price of these gone up? Like, here we go. You can find, I have the kilowatt one. I guess this is the more expensive one. I could have sworn I bought it years ago. You can buy a used one right here for 22 bucks. But anyways, you can find a cheaper one. These devices that monitor how much you're actually pulling from the wall. Then you multiply that by whatever efficiency factor from the efficiency curve of your power supply. Like, if you're running at like 50% load, you're going to have like a, 0.8 something. But anyways, whatever number you get from the wall is not what your system actually needs in terms of like the components. It's only pulling that and losing due to efficiency. What the components need is it's going to be majority from your CPU and GPU. So that can give you a rough number as to how much you need after you multiply efficiency from the wall, which a lot of the times is like low. So many computers I've built that are like mid-range systems, they end up pulling like 300-400 watts from the wall. If I had to guess, if you stuck a watt meter on your i9 4090 system from the wall, this is pulling a number out of my butt, right? I would think it would be pulling around 800, but that's not what the power supply is rated at. That's just what it pulls from the wall, so that once the conversion happens and the efficiencies are lost, that number will be lower than 800. So, yeah. What I'm trying to get at in a more long-winded version is, if the system works, if you monitor, and you can monitor using hardware info, hardware monitor, if you add up the watts from your card and your CPU, or if you test it pulling your power from the wall, and you come in below 850, you don't technically need a 1000 watt power supply. That's just like a safety with some overhead. If your system has been running just fine, then you're good. And the way you want to test it is doing an all-core load, unless you never do that, because a lot of the times, like we've talked about at the beginning of the stream, that i9, if you're just gaming, it's gonna be running at what most of the time, like 20-something% utilization, if that. Depends if you're playing on playing games that could, like, you know, fully utilize the threads and cores and stuff. And then if you have a bottleneck, let's say it's a CPU bottleneck for some reason. I don't imagine that with an i9. But let's just say you're running crazy graphics and you're just getting such crap frame rates, even because you're running, like, I don't know, 8K, crazy mode, whatever, ray tracing, and your graphics card's a bottleneck, then, actually no, I'm saying that wrong. If you have a huge CPU bottleneck, and then your graphics card isn't being fully utilized, it is also not going to draw the full power. So yeah. What CPU intense games will need all that i9? I don't know. Nothing that I play personally. What is a CPU super intense game? It's usually the workloads. Like compiling, rendering, if you're rendering via the CPU. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what game off the top of my head that I know runs all cores, especially all cores on an i9, because that's extra cores. City Skylines is super CPU intensive. If we pull up City Skylines i9 performance, we can do that afterwards. Actually, no, we're gonna run out of time. It's already 7:30. We gotta finish Alex's build critique. We got a height Y40 case, which City Skylines I don't know of any games that will fully utilize, like, I don't know, more than 8 cores, 16 threads, and that might be even pushing it. Like, I don't even... Yeah, I would have to go and look back and do some more research on that one, but... Okay. So, I gotta say, though, height Y40, I like it more than the height Y60, but I still don't really like... What is it about the height cases I don't like? This is a pretty dark picture, so it's kind of hard for us to see. I think it's because... What is the point of having the glass... You guys are seeing this, right? This picture's hard to see, so let's finish the build, then I'll pull up a Y40 and a Y60. Or maybe it's just the Y40 that does this. Yeah. Where's it at? My thing is... Your build looks pretty solid. What cool... Is this Lian Li? You got the Unifans on them. So, oh, wait, no. You said it was not... You said it was... You put it on here. This is the Asus Rio. Is this one... Does it only show your temperatures in a pixelated dot graphic? Or can you put any, like, GIF and image on here? It's looking like it might just be dot... pixelated dots. You can put stuff in pixelated images, yeah, but that's very low resolution and kind of... Even, okay, I don't want to hate, because I don't want to make people feel bad about their PCs or the parts that they chose. But if I'm going to critique this, just based on my own preferences and what I'm seeing, and the first thing that comes to my head, even these numbers being... Like, you see, like the 2 and the 9, they're like not balanced. Like when I think of these more simple digital displays, I think of what Deepcool had. Or like a digital clock. With these little dot light up pegs or whatever these things are. The numbers themselves are pretty ugly. Like... Why not just square off the 2 and the 9 and the 8? They could have done that with this. This looks like kind of unbalanced. It's hard to explain. That 2 is an upside down 5. You can't. It is. You're right. That does look like an upside down 5. Also, those are Light Bright pegs. You guys remember Light Bright? I love when Lee comes in with all these nostalgic references to like as seen on TV products and like kids' toys. Light bright, light bright. There was like a whole song to it. I forgot how it went, but I just remember it went to that tune. Would be nice if Asus added Light Bright to the AIOs. Scandinavia Flare. Robert Fixit says, the numbers look awkward. They do look awkward, right? So, if this is a screen that only has these, like, fixed position little light circles or dots, whatever, then oof. Come on, Asus. Asus! The company known for... I need to look this product up now. Because I could be wrong. I hate it when, like, I miss something in chat. Oh gosh. Oh no. It really is just those dots. Which, it's funny because they've designed and positioned these dots so that it works out perfectly for the ROG logo. Like, look at this. This looks exactly like that. I always assumed... Okay, let me look at it. Is it a dude doing his eyebrow? Like, doing like the Rock's corporate eyebrow? That's what I always saw it as. But I don't know if that's what it was intended to be. Yeah, so when I see this, I'm seeing this is an eye. This is kind of like an eyebrow or eyebrow ridge. And that's what I notice. That's how I interpret this logo. But, so they've made it so that this LCD can make that picture very nicely. But then when it comes to something as basic as displaying the temperature, I'm sorry. I hope this doesn't make you feel bad. You could just say, shut up, Danny. You don't know anything. You're stupid. You're just nitpicking and complaining for no reason. Like, I hope you view that, because I don't want to come off as a hater, but man, oof. It's the eye of an anime villain, exactly. Samurai Jack close-up, exactly. I'm going to pour one out for Deep Cool in the US. I'm bummed that we can't buy the products anymore. So, the whole Deep Cool... Okay, let's finish this, and then we'll talk about Deep Cool, and then I gotta go, man. This stream has been gone. I hope you guys have been having a good time. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time, right? No, but, so yeah, the build, though, I was gonna talk about the Height Y40. Man! You can just disregard everything I'm saying and call me a hater and say that I'm ugly. But... the last thing I wanted to comment about was the Height Y40. My issue with it, because a lot of companies are doing this thing now where they do incorporate glass to glass, like, you know. My question is, in the case, why does the glass... you see this down here? You see this section where the power supply basement is. Why did this have to basically take up all the space down here? And why does the glass have to show it? When you look at other case manufacturers, they just have the glass fill up this top section. They do not have the glass extend below the power supply basement. Because once you cover it up, you have this like weird thing where you have behind the glass this useless space. Like, just save yourself the money, cut the glass short, and don't do this kind of... I think this looks weird. And that's why, specifically, because there are a lot of cases that come out with this now. But this, having the power supply basement, just not being a part of the case, you know, and having the glass come down. The one thing I can see why they designed it like this is if you could squeeze in a really thin LCD screen, or if you want to put stickers down here, I guess. Otherwise, it's kind of an awkward look to me. But that's just me personally. You can call me a hater. I probably am a hater, you know. But that is to say, Alex Alexo Q. If you enjoy your PC, you can disregard everything I'm saying. People can look at my own personal setup or my rig and nitpick it to heck, right? But yeah, I mean, your specs are freaking crazy. You have like, i9 12900K 4090. Your PC has got to be in the top, like, what are we thinking, y'all? 5 percentile, 10 percentile of all gaming PCs out there with these specs? Top, I don't think it's top 1%. There are a lot of people who enjoy buying like the most expensive enthusiast hardware, but yeah. Lee says that space in the power supply basement could be cool for a themed build if you dress it up. Yeah, like if you put like, if you sticker it up and stuff. Otherwise, hard agree. Okay, what did I say we were gonna do? So that was all the submissions to the PC build showcase, I believe, unless someone just posted it. People just posted more now. Oh my goodness. We got 1, 2, we got 3 more posts. I gotta eat dinner though, and a bunch of you I bet need to go too. So we are going to, did I say I was gonna do anything else on stream? I think that was it, right? Is there anything else that I said I would for sure get to tonight? Because I think for the most part we captured it. According to Steam, it's the top 10%. The Steam hardware survey. Whatever you get for the 4090. No, I don't know. There's no way. It is not the top 10% because I don't even know if a single GPU holds 10% of all gaming PCs out there. We can take a look at this because I love me my Steam hardware survey. And then this is the last thing we'll look at in the browser. Graphics cards, video cards. Click for more info. Yeah, okay, so there's no way it's 10% because the most popular graphics card on Steam hardware survey, which again is not perfect, but it's the best that we have, you're barely seeing like anywhere from like 6 to 7%. 4090, if we're gonna use this, and not even looking at combination with i9, 4090 represents about 1%. If you, yeah, we're the most recent month, like 1%, right? Yep, June. Where did my search go? That you are the 1% according to Steam hardware survey. Let me zoom in more for the people in the vertical. I repeat, if you have a 4090, you know when they talk about the elite 1% in the world with regards to PC hardware graphics card, you are the 1% of reported people. If we're gonna assume that people don't report, see, the thing is about Steam hardware survey, if you were to try to say it is inaccurate, would the amount of people who don't even get the prompt to do Steam hardware survey, how many of them do you think have 4090s versus don't? And would it be an equal distribution as the amount of people that we see that did take the survey? Wouldn't you just assume it to be a similar distribution and also be, 1%? I don't know. Anyways, we're going to get ready to end stream in the next 5 or so minutes here, just so I can go eat, just so none of you feel obligated to stick around to the end of stream to, but yeah, I'm going to read chat for a bit. The RX 58, the reason why, I guess it's not a really good, thing to do to pull up graphics card percentages is because in this point in time, would it be safe to say there are 100 different graphics card models? And when I say model, I don't mean like Strix versus WinForce Gigabyte or something. I mean, like 4080, 4090, 4070, like unique graphics card models from AMD, NVIDIA, and now Intel. Are there currently existing, I know there's over 100, but let's say 100 relevant, still usable graphics card, but then that's even hard to say because some people are perfectly okay playing League of Legends or whatever indie game on like their 12-year-old graphics card. So there's got to be over 100%, right? So when you have that many different options or choices available, you're never going to get anything over like 10%. There's just way too many graphics cards out there, and people are just using all different random ones. But we could clearly see that the 3060 was leading the pack at 6 or 7%. And that was by a decent margin. The next one up was 4%, which means the RTX 3060 has 150% more users than the next second place option. I forgot. Okay, I do need to talk about one thing. I am currently running a thumbnail creation competition. For those of you who are not in the Discord or did not see it, it's in the announcements channel. If you go to the Discord, go to the announcements. I have a thumbnail competition for the latest video. Essentially, if you guys can make a thumbnail for this video that can perform better than mine, this is a competition. If you can make one that performs better than mine by 2%, because we have A/B testing now, I'm gonna like down select, pick the best thumbnails, and then put it into YouTube's feature where they will show all 3 thumbnails to different people, and they will give me basically the best way we can get which is the best thumbnail. It's a tool created for, you know, content creators like myself, so that you could basically, I guess, yeah, choose the best thumbnail. But I thought it would be fun to have a competition for viewers to submit a thumbnail. Go here, read the rules. Prize is $50 if you could beat me. And I wanted to make it a competition just so that people didn't just submit stuff just to submit. And you can almost treat this like, if I were to hire someone to make a thumbnail for me, I would want to only pay them if I am confident they can make a better thumbnail than what I can already create. And again, my thumbnails are very basic. Like, look at this thing. It's like footage or a screenshot made up of stuff from the video. This is a render from Google of the 3060 Ti and some text. Like, my thumbnails are basic, right? So if I'm going to pay a thumbnail creator to make a thumbnail, they're only getting my money if they can make something that is better than whatever this basic thing is. Like, they're not worth their money if their thumbnail can't even beat that. And they call themselves thumbnail artists. Because I'm not a thumbnail artist. I do all my thumbnails in-house. I suck at them. They're very basic. And yeah, this is just a fun competition in that regard, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I encourage everyone to try to make a thumbnail, and then we'll have some Discord voting to down select it to the top 2, so then we can run ABC testing to determine who gets the $50. And if I win, then the $50 doesn't go out, essentially. But this is to encourage people to actually put effort into it, right? I don't want to give second place if I win $50 in case it just doesn't end up being something that is worthwhile. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, though. People are asking what the next video is going to be. Next video, actually, today marks like the 1-year anniversary of LTX. Ish. It was like the end of, well, I don't remember what the exact day was, but yeah, LTX 2024 would have happened if they continued it, but due to a number of reasons, regardless of the whole Gamers Nexus expose, they didn't do it. So the next video is going to be, you know, like LAN party stories. It's going to be LTX stories. Basically, a bunch of footage and behind the scenes stuff from LTX that was never published on the channel. It's stuff that will hopefully give people who have never been to LTX like a really good feeling of what LTX was about. And for the people who did go to LTX to see further footage, because it comes from the perspective of me as a content creator. There is a decent amount of footage of me hanging out with the other content creators. So you can see us dicking around and stuff like that. And then there's like a huge section for the LTT or LMG studio tour. But yeah, that's the planned video just because of LTX anniversary rolling around. And I'm actually legitimately sad that LTX didn't happen this year. I think regardless of if you like Linus Tech Tips, the channel, or LMG as a whole, you could hate LMG and Linus and still have an amazing time at LTX is how I would put it. It is a convention thrown by them, but it is a gathering of PC hardware enthusiasts and gaming PCers and content creators. And it's the only event that is like it. It's like a one-of-a-kind event. You will never get this type of crowd at like a DreamHack, at PAX, at Computex, and stuff like that. Anyone who has gone to LTX would probably agree with that. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to drop the video. The whole anniversary thing rolling around is because I am sitting on a ton of footage that I was going to just use for B-roll. But yeah. Whoever wins, I have to hire to make thumbnails? Nah, I don't make enough on YouTube to hire people to make thumbnails. Thumbnail artists range from like, I mean, if you want to pay like good thumbnail artists, you're talking like 50, 100 to Mr. Beast. I think he's mentioned he might pay like multiple hundreds, if not thousands, for thumbnails. For someone my level, people would probably expect to like make 50 bucks a thumbnail, and to me that's not worth it. Like, you could argue, but the videos might perform better. No, the videos aren't performing good because of my content being just not that good. A amazing thumbnail isn't all of a sudden gonna make all my videos like reach hundreds of thousands of views, right? Like, it's just, if the content is good, my thumbnails are good enough, if that makes sense. Will we get a 300k sub shirtless stream? I don't think so. YouTube might shadow ban my channel for inappropriate content because it is so disgusting looking. Yeah, but that's gonna pretty much wrap it up. So thank you to everyone who was attending via the vertical stream format. Oh gosh, it's gonna be so embarrassing if the vertical stream doesn't even get the same amount of views as the traditional. Just because the reason for trying this is because it's supposed to help with discoverability and like with the views and stuff, but we'll see. But yeah, thanks for everyone else. Thanks for everyone who tuned in that was new to the channel. Thanks to everyone who is a regular viewer and a regular stream attendee. You guys make this so fun every week. I look forward to streaming like every single week. It's a way to catch back up with everybody and just, you know, talk. So yeah, you guys have a great rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your week and have a great weekend coming up. And yeah, I will see you in the comments of the stream, comments of the video, or if you guys join the Discord server, I'm there every day. So take it easy, y'all. Bye-bye.